Welcome, everyone. Oh, man. What a new week of news going on. This is a crazy week. Man, what a new week of... Oh, goodness gracious.
You're right. No, I can focus on you, not your because Shed has...
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, whoa. That caught me off guard, listening to that last message. Did it catch you guys off guard? Welcome, everyone. It is Monday already. Oh, man. It is Monday morning, and there is so much to talk about, so much to discuss, and just all kinds of breaking news. None of it involves the Queen, by the way. But just all kinds of breaking news happening over the weekend, and, of course, a lot of news happening since I, turned off the TV last night. So we're going to talk about a lot of things and take your calls. Oh, man. Joe Biden gave an interview to 60 Minutes. And it's not very often that we talk about what happened on 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes, when I was young, was like the show of record. Like America stopped for 60 Minutes. And now I'd forgotten 60 Minutes was on. I've not watched 60 Minutes in years. The last time I watched 60 Minutes is when President Trump was on, of course. But yeah, so there was. I caught it this morning. I heard about it. I'm going to play some audio. We're going to talk about it. But Joe Biden gave a 60 Minutes interview, which is historic. It's a disaster for him. I would consider it to be the official end of his presidency. 60 Minutes is a left-wing news magazine show. Is that still a thing, news magazine? There aren't even magazines anymore. But it's a news magazine show, supposedly 60 Minutes, with their stopwatch going on. And of course, since it's put out by CBS News, is notoriously hardcore liberal Democrat. I mean, hardcore liberal Democrat. And for them to have a Democrat on at all and make them look bad is, I don't know if it's ever happened before. A sitting Democrat? And I'm not, and for a Democrat president, 60 Minutes is where Democrat presidents go to be praised and congratulated and fawned over and save their reputations. Democrat presidents don't go on 60 Minutes to destroy their political career, but Joe Biden did just that, and I'm so happy. 60 Minutes has done something good. The first good they've done in a long time, if ever. I can't remember the last time something they did was good. Yeah. Well, if they ever did anything good, this is the best thing they've done since then. I just can't remember what it is. And what they did that was good last night was expose Joe Biden. Now, I know a lot of you MAGA people, my MAGA brothers and sisters, will say, we already know that Biden is a this and a that. Yeah? Well, liberals don't all know. And the audience of 60 Minutes are Democrats, left-wing Democrat activists, the Martha's Vineyard types and all. And that's their audience. Their audience is not MAGA, all right, at 60 Minutes. So for 60 Minutes to destroy Joe Biden last night to their liberal audience not only is historic, but I think it comes as a shock to a lot of the viewers. So I'll go through some of I have some clips from 60 Minutes. First time I've had clips of 60 Minutes since Trump was on, I guess, was Leslie Stahl. Had him on like 2 years ago, around about, and have not thought about it since then, 60 Minutes. But we're going to talk about it today early on, and there's a lot more to talk about, too. There has been just a devastating story over the weekend involving the January 6th Kangaroo Committee, which I'm going to get to in a little bit as well. Oh, man, the January 6th Kangaroo Committee was just... They screwed up, and they screwed up big time, people, big time. And we're going to get into that and a whole bunch more. This is one of those days We have more news to talk about, to digest, and to analyze than we have time for. Oh, man. So let me just share some of this. Let me go. This is a clip from 60 Minutes. This is really awful. This is Joe Biden being asked by this 60 Minutes liberal guy about inflation, out of control inflation. Listen to this.
Mr. President, as you know, last Tuesday, the annual inflation rate came in at 8.3%. The stock market nosedived. People are shocked by their grocery bills. What can you do better and faster?
Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective. Inflation rate month to month was just an inch. Hardly at all.
You're not arguing that 8.3 is good news.
No, I'm not saying it is good news.
Did you hear the snarl? You're not arguing. This guy must live in Martha's Vineyard that's interviewing him.
Month was just an inch. Hardly at all.
You're not arguing that 8.3 is good news.
No, I'm not saying it is good news, but it was 8.2 or 8.2 before. I mean, it's not. Maybe I can make it sound like all of a sudden, my God, it went to 8.2%. It's
the highest inflation rate, Mr. President, in 40 years.
I got that. But guess what we are? We're in a position where for the last several months it hasn't spiked. It is just barely, it's been basically even.
Now, basically even, which means it's still going up, just not as fast. That does not happen to Democrat presidents on 60 Minutes. And, you know, what that does, they're very devastating because grocery bills are out of control. I had to buy some groceries over the weekend, you know, because like the rest of you, I have to eat. I mean, the prices are insane. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You know, people that have large families, have young children, oh my goodness, I don't even want to know what they're doing and how they're getting by with these prices. But what this shows, you know, inflation is hitting people hard. And it hits every aspect of our lives. I mean, how many of you don't fill your gas tank up? You just put in enough you think will get you through the week or a couple of days because of the high gas prices. When Trump was in office, you could afford to fill up your car, not even blink, right? And what this little talk about inflation of Joe Biden does that's so ending to his pathetic presidency is it shows that he is out of touch with reality. You know, this guy, he's very wealthy through doing what? What business has he been in that's made himself so wealthy? He's been in public service his whole life. That's selling favors and deals as a corrupt public official that he's done his entire life. The money that Biden has, he hasn't earned. Now, he thinks he's earned it, but he hasn't worked for it. He's a corrupt public official. That's all. And so he doesn't understand the value in money because he's never earned it. He's worked out deals and gotten windfalls of cash like a lottery winner from doing nothing, even maybe less. Because a lottery winner, they at least are risking a couple of bucks on the ticket. He's got nothing in the game, and he has these huge windfalls. So he is completely out of touch, not just with reality, but it shows how out of touch he is with the American people. You know, one thing about a politician, you see it with President Trump, who had a great rally in Ohio on Saturday. You guys catch the rally? I'm sure you did. What a great rally that was in Ohio Saturday night. Just a wonderful rally, which I'll talk about too as the show goes on. But Donald Trump, as wealthy as he is, he still feels the pulse of the average person. Unlike this guy. You know, when you're a Pelosi person or a Biden type that's made all of your money out of being a corrupt public official where people just give you money for favors and deals that you arrange using your powers in whatever office you hold at that particular time, prices go up 8-9%, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal to you. Not just because you're so rich, but you're still making money hand over fist during tough economic times because people are, the bribe money that's coming in. Now, they don't think of themselves that way. They, like Nancy Pelosi's husband thinks that he is just a Wall Street maven. Hunter Biden thinks he's just a master of business and all of that. They don't understand that they're corrupt public officials. They're criminally insane. They think that's just how the world works. But when you are a Democrat, the success that the Democrats have had in the past is they've been able to seem relatable to average people, and they're not. There's been a major reversal, since Trump came down the escalator, but there's been a major reversal in low-income people no longer being able to relate to the average Democrat, because the average Democrat are let them eat cake in their tone and in their attitude. Oh, man. Well, it's Monday, guys, and make sure you call Sloman's and talk to them about how you can get that free doorbell camera. I've been telling you guys, I have the doorbell camera. You can see day or night in high definition no matter where you are, the living room, the bedroom, the bathroom, or in Nome, Alaska, on your mobile phone, who is at your front door. You can even speak to them. You can see when packages are delivered. You can see if something's going on out there that shouldn't go on. This free doorbell camera at Sloman's, you'll love it. I have this doorbell camera, and it is so nice. There was a knock at the door again last night. I don't even have to go check. I just pick up my phone, which is always with me, and see who's at the front door. And it was another Amazon delivery. That's how it is. Listen, here's the number, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. Call and learn how you can get a free doorbell camera. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air.
Yeah, by the way, guys, no matter where you are, call them. They may be able to help you, even if you're not local here.
With Brian Craig on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Call 561-646-8560. That's 561-646-8560.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show.
That's where the Western Beef is.
Right.
South of Palmetto.
Steve Kane Show.
North of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009.
Steve Kane Show.
561-237-5009.
Steve Kane Show.
5009.
Hold on.
Test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis. No matter what your game is, defense matters. The same thing goes for COVID-19. Help protect yourself with a booster shot. Now recommended for people 5 years and older. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible, following completion of your primary series. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
The Boca Chamber of Commerce and Oldies 95.3, 96.9 are ready to start your holiday off with a bang. Wine and all that jazz with auction will be at the Boca Raton on Saturday, November 5th. Indulge in an array of wine, spirits, beer, and dinner by the bite from some of Boca's top restaurants, and you can bid on exciting items like wine baskets, resort stays, spa packages, and so much more right from your phone. Visit BocaChamber.com for more information and to purchase tickets.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show. With Brian Craig.
Hey guys, welcome back. It is Monday, 17 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show. Only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And, you know, it's been over 2 weeks now since my laser away pain treatment with Dr. Philip Appleton for my knee pain. My knee pain is gone. It has not returned. I feel like a new man, and I find myself, you know, over this weekend in particular, being more active because I've gotten used to, I've forgotten. The only time I even think about it, that I used to have knee pain, is when I'm doing the commercial telling you guys about it. Man, it feels so good. I'm doing stuff. I was out in the garage yesterday doing some work, and boom, took the MAGA scooter out, you know, which was a little hard. To put the you know, I have a scooter, a 150cc scooter. I call it the MAGA scooter. I ride around. Took it out last night after it stopped raining, and before I had the laser away pain treatment, it hurt when I would put the kickstand up, because, you know, put the kickstand down, I got to pull the bike up and put a lot of weight on my right leg, and it really hurt when I would put the kickstand on. And yesterday I went for a ride, didn't feel a thing. Laser away pain, this system with Dr. Philip Appleton works, and it does more than just help with knee pain, arthritis, bronchial neuralgia, bursitis, hip pain, lumbar pain, muscular contraction, sciatica, strains and sprains, tennis elbow, neck pain, back pain. If you have pain, hand pain, call Dr. Philip Appleton and take advantage of the free consultation. When you call over there or stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. It's a free consultation. And you can see Dr. Appleton today. He's open Monday through Saturday. Walk-ins are welcome because he knows when you're in pain, you need help. You need relief now. So you can see Dr. Appleton today online at AppletonChiro.com, and you can also give him a call. Now, if you call early right now, you know, and you get a voicemail, leave a message. They'll call you back, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710 for Dr. Philip Appleton. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio, 954-973-0710. All right, let's go to the phones, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 60 minutes, just a devastating interview with Joe Biden. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, once, twice. All right. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Richie, good morning.
Hey, Richie. Marcus, $10 super sticker. Thank you.
60 minutes. Okay.
Mark Levin.
I watched a CBS affiliate, West Palm Beach, Channel 12.
Everyone thank Marcus for that super sticker, by the way.
Saying Joe Biden had a good week last week. He went from 42% approval to 45%.
Oh, if you believe that. Who are they polling?
Well, what kind of people think this guy is improved and the job he's doing is even worth 45%? I mean, this is, they are, like you said, don't trust any of this poll crap or anything that
Never.
You're garbage. Let me tell you, you said all that Joe Biden is a corrupt politician. He's out of touch. But then you remember he was taking the train like the average guy all the time. And he says he's the union guy who's never been in a union his whole life. So full of crap, it's incredible.
Well, he's just used his offices to give government money and deals to the unions like he's doing. And look what happened with Amtrak. 25% pay increase, and they're ready to toss it out. It's not enough. They want more, the union thugs.
Yeah, and you know, I a long time ago I had this old man that used to ride my bus, and he used to collect money from people in Long Island. He was in the book with the Godfather. He was called the collector, and he would collect money, you know, because I'm going to protect your business, just give me money, and then he'd give it back to the head guy. Well, that's Joe Biden, that's Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's a collector for Joe. So the whole thing is really
oh yeah.
The man of the people, just like the guy in Pennsylvania with the lump on his neck, saying that, and tattoos all over.
Well, now we find out Fetterman has like 6 houses, 8 properties, something like this.
And he's never worked. 49 years old, he never had a job. These people are so fake. And I got to tell you something. There's something that really bothers me, and I hope you know the guy Bolduc that's running in New Hampshire.
A little bit. I don't know too much about them. No, I know the name. That's about it. I've heard the name.
He reversed he reversed his opinion about the election.
No, yeah. All right, Richie. Richie does better. Hey, listen, by the way, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Oh, so let me get back to 60 Minutes. Open Phones is on Friday, people. Today is not Open Phones. All right. So 60 Minutes, just a devastating interview with Biden. Let me get back to this. And you guys really got to understand, 60 Minutes is not in the business of asking tough questions to Democrats, okay? They bring Democrats on to celebrate them. So the first one, let me play the first one again just to recap it. They're asking Biden about inflation.
Last Tuesday, the annual inflation rate came in at 8.3%. The stock market nosedived. People are shocked by their grocery bills. What can you do better and faster?
Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective. Inflation rate month to month was just an inch. Hardly at all.
You're not arguing that 8.3 is good news.
No, I'm not saying it is good news, but it was 8.2 or 8.2 before. I mean, it's not, maybe I can make it sound like all of a sudden, my God, it went to 8.2%. It's
the highest inflation rate, Mr. President, in 40 years.
I got that. But guess what we are? We're in a position where for the last several months it hasn't spiked. It is just it's been basically even.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that shows you how out of touch he is. And that 8%, 8.2%, he's like, well, it was 8.2, now it's 8. It's still the same, okay? That's an average. And when they say it's 8%, a lot of items have gone up 10% or 12% or 15% at the grocery store. You understand what I mean? Because they do that on an average. And excuse me. And some of the things that have gone up are essentials, like little things like meat. So then 60 Minutes, they ask Biden about people out there that don't like him. There are people out there who disapprove of you. Listen to this.
Your approval rating in the country is well below 50%. And I wonder why you think that is.
This is a really difficult time. We're at an inflection point in the history of this country. We're going to make decisions, and we're making decisions now that are going to determine what we're going to look like the next 10 years from now. I think you'd agree that the impact on the psyche of the American people as a consequence of the pandemic is profound. Think of how that has changed everything. People's attitudes about themselves, their families, about the state of the nation, about the state of their communities. And so there's a lot of uncertainty out there, a great deal of uncertainty.
Yeah, there's uncertainty because of him. So why do people disapprove of you? And he blames COVID. COVID was settled when he came in. Donald Trump handled the pandemic and settled it and solved it and fixed it all before Inauguration Day. So he's blaming people who disapprove of him of just being upset over COVID. COVID was over when he came into office, okay? People disapprove of you because you are a complete failure, Joe Biden. Oh, man. This 60 Minutes interview is beautiful. I've never heard a 60 Minutes guy go after a Democrat president like this. Oh, boy, it's great. If you're on hold, stand by. Listen, do you or someone you love suffer from neuropathy? It's painful. It's torture. But you don't have to suffer with neuropathy. We have found a treatment that works. Steve Kane had neuropathy so bad he couldn't walk. He was basically bedridden. And then we found Lighthouse Medical Center. They have a neuropathy treatment. It works. I'm going to give the number. When you call them, mention you heard about Lighthouse Medical Center on the radio. You'll get a free consultation, okay? 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Do what Steve Kane did. Call them, go in, take advantage of the no-charge consultation, mention you heard about them on the radio, and rid yourself of neuropathy symptoms. It's awful, I know, but you don't have to suffer anymore. We'll be right back. Charge consultation, mention you heard about them on the radio, and rid yourself of neuropathy symptoms. It's awful, I know, but you don't have to suffer anymore. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The
rock and roll hits of the 70s.
See what Richie does, especially on Mondays. He wants to do the Richie show, and open phones is on Friday. Okay, I got so much stuff to talk about. I haven't even gotten to the 60 minutes yet.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media.
Good morning, Macho.
Laugh with some funny memes and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies.
Oh, man.
Traffic check.
Oh, make sure you all like the video. I got a new vlog coming up later this week. I went to our new listening area, Jupiter, Maga Martin County, and I made a really cool vlog. I went boating. My father-in-law took my daughter and I out on the boat on Saturday. We went out on the boat for a couple hours and did some other things up there too. You'll get a kick out of. If you're a Patreon supporter, you'll get to see the video earlier than everyone else, of course.
How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one.
Pickles, you know, Slick Pickles has got the brains of Richie. Is that really the kind of thing you should be talking about with everything that's going on, Slick Pickles? Come on.
You can see your home right from the palm of your hands, no matter where you are. And that's not all. Slomin's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
Slick, no more warnings, man. Come on.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive?
One more time, I'm going to have to let you go, Slick Pickles. You're not that slick.
New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on.
Don't be stupid. All right?
To balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
If you have rare coins, diamonds, gold, silver, and watches to sell, and you're looking for a fair price, look no further than Tweary's Rare Coins and Jewelry. Tweary's is family owned and
All right. Just reading over a couple articles.
serving South Florida. Tweary's pays you a great price for your valuable items. Call 561-649-COIN, 561-649-2646, or go to TWERYS.com for Tweary's Rare Coins and Jewelry.
The Steve Kane 2023 Mega Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex out of Fort Lauderdale. First up, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. And then St. Kitts. With exclusive events just for our crew. Fine dining together every night. Cocktail parties. Shore excursions. Onboard activities. And a whole lot more. On the line is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
I blocked this group space during COVID, during the height of the pandemic, so we got some incredible deals.
Call Ian right now and lock in your cabin. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Join us as we celebrate our president, Donald Trump. Make your reservation right now. 561-244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed. Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
I treated your knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. When we had a leak in our roof at the Kane household, we called Tom Laporta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602. And tell him Steve Kane sent you.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. That's right, on the radio in Florida since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio. You know, our MAGA cruise is coming up January 28th, and if you've not already reserved your spot, do it, all right? It is filling up. My daughter is bringing a friend, so she has someone to hang out with, other than, you know, her dad and the adults. So we had to do a booking yesterday. We did. I got Ian on the phone on Sunday from Cruise and Travel Depot, and we made a booking for my daughter's friend to come. And well, yeah, you know, it is filling up. We had a lot of choices to make, a lot of questions to answer, going over deck plans and everything because the ship is filling up. So call Ian and join us, guys, because one morning I'm going to be here and tell you it's all filled up, the dining's filled up, and you're out of luck. Call in, reserve your spot. You're going to have a great time. Our MAGA cruise on the Celebrity Apex leaves January 28th out of Fort Lauderdale. We're going to Puerto Rico, Tortola, and the British Virgin Islands, and St. Kitts. Here's Ian's number, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. That's Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. And join us. You're going to have a great time. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, let me recap here. Biden went on 60 Minutes last night, which no one watches anymore, but I caught it this morning. I heard about it online. Like, I got to see this. And 60 Minutes did something I've never seen them do. They just destroyed a sitting Democrat president who's right before an election. And Biden just lost it. Let me play another clip here. This is this was unreal. This was unreal. They asked Biden about those who say that you're unfit for the job. Oh boy, listen to this.
Mr. President, you are the oldest president ever.
Pretty good shape, huh?
Oh my goodness. Now, this one shows how out of touch with reality he is. He thinks he's fit. The guy can't even walk. That gait that he has, shaking hands with ghosts. Yeah, I mean, my goodness. And he thinks that he is fit. That's how far gone his mind is.
Mr. President, you are the oldest president ever.
Pretty good shape, huh?
Which leads to my next question. You are more aware of this than anyone. Some people ask whether you are fit for the job. And when you hear that, I wonder what you think.
Watch me.
Oh, there goes the whisper. Watch me. We do watch you. That's the problem. You think you're vice president half the time. You're shaking hands with ghosts. You can't walk. You look checked out. We're watching you. That's why we think you're unfit.
Some people ask whether you are fit for the job. And when you hear that, I wonder what you think.
Watch me. I mean, honest to God, that's all I think. Watch me. If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity, then you know, that's one thing. It's another thing of just watch and you know, keep my schedule. Do what I'm doing. I think that, I don't, when I sit down with our NATO allies and keep them together, I don't have them saying, wait a minute, how old are you? What they say? You know, I mean, it's a matter of, you know, that old expression, the proof of the pudding's in the eating.
See, he's either just an outright liar or he's so far gone with the dementia that he's unaware that he has any problems.
I mean, I respect the fact that people would say, you know, you're old, but I think it relates to how much energy you have and whether or not the job you're doing is one consistent with what any person of any age would be able to do.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh.
Well, it's focused. I have trouble even saying to myself my own head the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before, whether it's physical or mental or anything else.
Wow. So this guy, he doesn't even think he's slowed down physically and not to mention mentally. So what do you guys think here? Is he lying or is he so out of it he doesn't know he's out of it? 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louis.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You know, just before you came to me, I'm kind of paying attention to an interview that 60 Minutes did with Jimmy Carter. Now, we're young folks, and we maybe lived through, maybe didn't. We were a little bit too young to know what was going on at the time. But Jimmy Carter, in this interview, looks old, and they weren't going after him like they did Biden. No. So, and he's generally, that's the last time we had this type of inflation was in his presidency. I mean, remember the national malaise speech? And so this is a guy, at one time we thought about Biden, we thought that maybe, just maybe, if they got him to say Dr. Matez, maybe he would get better, right?
Well, no, hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez would turn Joe Biden around. There's no doubt about it. He'd get not only would he be able to walk and have energy, but it helps with cognitive issues too. Yeah, he'd get his mind back.
They're not smart enough to have something like that happen with him. They don't want that because they want him, and it's bad. But
yeah, well, you didn't finish your sentence. I think you're right. I think Jill Biden and those around Biden want him like that so they can control him and get done what they want to get done. They don't want him with it so that he can do what he wants to do. Yeah.
And
he's a puppet president.
60 Minutes, even though we don't think there are a number of people watching it, is still on CBS. CBS is a legacy network, and people still watch that thing. Not to the point of where it was.
Yeah, but for 60 Minutes to go after someone who's a sitting Democrat president like that is unheard of. This would be like Saturday Night Live going after Biden. It's all new territory. The Democrats are trying to get rid of Biden.
They're trying to get rid of Biden, but do they really want, Miss
Willie Brown's girlfriend? No, they'll skip her over. Biden was skipped over for Hillary after the Obama second term. No, they'll skip over Willie Brown's girlfriend. William,
they'll skip her over. They don't want her.
How's it going? It's going great.
She's in worse shape than
no one's in worse shape than Biden. I don't know about that.
But yeah, they don't want her. Nobody's would vote for her. The women even like her,
Well, women do not like women. Women do not like women who sleep with married men. And she wasn't just sleeping with a married man. She was parading around as his girlfriend. So women don't like that.
Now, my question is this: now that 60 Minutes has gone after him, do you think that MSNBC?
Oh yeah. This will be the beginning of a trend. Hey, Mike, thanks for the call. Yeah, the 60 Minutes interview. So then the guy brought up the Hunter Biden laptop. I mean, this is really great stuff. I love, President Trump. He used to say, "You say what you want about Democrats, but they always stick together." That's not the case anymore. Here's left-wing 60 Minutes asking Joe about the laptop from hell.
If you run again, Republicans are most likely to go after your son, Hunter, once again. And I wonder what you would like to say about your son and whether any of his troubles have caused conflicts for you or for the United States.
I love my son, number one. He fought an addiction problem. He overcame it. He wrote about it. And no, there's not a single thing that I've observed at all that would affect me or the United States relative to my son Hunter.
Wow. Really? All that stuff that shows all the crooked deals you got going on in Ukraine and China? You know, for 60 Minutes even to ask about the laptop is uncharted territory. This is the end of the Biden presidency, because what they're doing, the Democrats, is they're using 60 Minutes to say it's okay to start saying the truth about Joe Biden. Okay? And you're going to start to see other liberal media go after Joe Biden. And this is a beautiful thing. They have no one to... Don't worry about Newsom. No one is going to elect some skinny pants guy who wants to outlaw cars. All right? Our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. Now, again, this isn't the type of interview that I would do with Biden. I'd go after him a little bit more. But you got to understand, this is a left-wing Democrat organization that is a cheerleader for Democrat presidents, not asking anything that's rough at all, and they did it. It's historic. We'll be back after this. That is a cheerleader for Democrat presidents, not asking anything that's rough at all, and they did it. It's historic. We'll be back after this. Oh man! If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and everyone like the video. This is the begin. This is the Democrat establishment telling the rest of the media it's okay to start going after Biden. Okay? I mean, this is not an interview where he's destroyed, but it's liberals interviewing him. It's amazing. By the way, there's something I missed over the weekend. I missed the J.D. Vance interview by Right Side Broadcasting. Someone told me that it was that J.D. Vance was acting very strange in that interview. If you've seen that interview, call me. I'm going to talk about it when we get back from the break, because very strange. Something interesting happened at the rally with J.D. Vance. I'm going to talk about after the break. Bruce, $10 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, please thank Bruce Wayne. Smash the thumbs up. Support this great show, please. Well, thank you, Bruce. Everyone, please thank Bruce for the super chat. Yeah, this is a new shirt, and I didn't know till I got here. Rich, the board up, I had the new tag hanging off the sleeve when I came in today. Yeah, it's in the garbage. And here's the tag. Old Navy. I was looking for the tag. I didn't see a tag. I held the shirt up before I put it on this morning. I was like, oh, I must have taken the tag off already. All right, we're coming back here in just about a minute. Oh, man. Hey, give me a 1 if you love Trump. A 1 if you love Trump.
Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and your family. I Will Advisor specializes in every...
Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's see some Trump love. 1 if you love Trump. There we go. Look at that. Look at all that Trump. If you're new here, this is the most pro-Donald Trump YouTube channel that there is, and the most pro-MAGA radio show on the planet Earth. You're not ever going to hear me disagree with President Trump. You'll never hear me criticize President Trump. Well, sometimes I gotta wear, regular shirts. There's a business side to the radio business. I saw. Well, are we coming back? Almost. Look at all those ones. Look at all that Trump love. Leslie really loves Trump more than anybody. Got a bunch of ones. He is the man. Oh, yeah, it was a great rally, too. All right, here we go. Come back.
The Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Oh, the Trump rally in Ohio, was that not a great rally? Oh, man, it was an awesome rally. And I saw the entire speech and everything else, but I usually watch the interviews and speakers throughout the day, and I didn't. I went up to Stewart in Martin County and went boating with my daughter and father-in-law. We went out on the boat for a few hours, and I missed some of the interviews during the day before the rally. And there was one that someone told me about I want to ask you about. Okay, now President Trump, it was a great rally, a great speech, spot on, right on the money. I loved it. And he said one thing, though, that I thought, whoa, what happened? Something happened. Before President Trump came out, something happened, and it involved J.D. Vance. President Trump said that J.D. Vance, did you see this part? I don't have the clip, so I just have to paraphrase it for you. But President Trump said that J.D. Vance used to say bad things about him, but now he likes him. And he said J.D. Vance is kissing my A. He said the whole word. Did you catch that? And I thought that was interesting. It was interesting. Something's happened, because that's not a compliment. He gave him a, what is that? Is that a left-handed compliment? Is that what you call that? He was complimenting J.D. Vance, President Trump. He's endorsed J.D. Vance. He even brought J.D. Vance up to speak. But when he said that J.D. Vance was kissing his A, I thought, oh, that's interesting. It's strange. And someone told me in the chat room on YouTube that J.D. Vance was interviewed by Right Side Broadcasting. I missed this interview. But they said that the Right Side Broadcasting interview with J.D. Vance was strange, was odd. If any of you caught the J.D. Vance interview by Right Side Broadcasting at the Ohio rally, call and let me know about that. Did he seem off? Was something wrong? What do you think why do you think President Trump said that about J.D. Vance? Because something has happened. I'm not sure what it is, but he's still endorsing him. You still got to vote for him if you're in Ohio. But something wrong. And that Right Side Broadcasting interview, I want to know if you saw it, if J.D. Vance seemed off, like there was something going on. Now, Mike Lindell, of course, was there. I did see Mike Lindell speak at the rally. You know, Mike Lindell, who was raided last week by the FBI. Isn't that terrible? Raided by the FBI. They took his phone, and he's put together a legal team led by the great Alan Dershowitz. Did you see this? Yeah. Alan Dershowitz is putting together a Mike Lindell legal dream team, and this is a clip of Mike Lindell in Ohio over the weekend.
My lawyers and I got together the last couple days, and on Tuesday, we're suing the United States government and the FBI. We're suing for violating our First Amendment rights, our Fourth Amendment rights, our Fifth Amendment rights, and our Sixth Amendment rights.
Wow. So yeah, Mike Lindell, he's put together this legal dream team led by the great Alan Dershowitz, and tomorrow he's going to sue the government, sue the FBI, sue the Justice Department, or file a lawsuit, and this is amazing. Now, they went after the wrong guy when they went after Mike Lindell, and Mike Lindell needs your support. He needs your help. Go to mypillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and save up to 66% off when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. That's right, save up to 66% off. The MyPillow that started it all is just $19.88. The MyPillow My Slippers, I have 2 pairs of these, just $49.98. The towels, I have 2 sets of the MyPillow towels, $44.98. And of course, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is 50% off, the lowest price ever at mypillow.com. 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which I sleep on every night. Now, whatever specials you see at MyPillow.com, take advantage of with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and support Mike Lindell, because boy, oh boy, he's taking on everyone, isn't he? And he needs your support. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, so I want to finish up with the 60 Minutes interview with Biden, which is just a beautiful interview. The reason I'm focusing on this so much is what I've been telling you this hour, is that for a liberal 60 Minutes interview, to interview a Democrat president, they're there. A Democrat president goes on 60 Minutes when they're in trouble to resurrect themselves. Even Bill Clinton, when he was still governor and all the sex stuff started coming out, 60 Minutes had him go on there. He went on with Hillary, and to save him, not to attack and condemn him. And 60 Minutes just was asking questions that he just gave answers to that make him look really bad, and they aired it. So here he is talking about China.
What should Chinese President Xi know about your commitment to Taiwan?
We agree with what we signed on to a long time ago, and that there's a one China policy, and Taiwan makes their own judgments about their independence. We are not we're not encouraging their being independent. That's their decision.
But would U.S. forces defend the island?
Yes, if in fact they're unprecedented attack.
After our interview, a White House official told us U.S. policy has not changed. Officially, the U.S. will not say whether American forces would defend Taiwan, but the commander-in-chief had a view of his own. So unlike Ukraine, to be clear, sir, U.S. forces, U.S. men and women, would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion.
Yes.
Okay, wow. So, okay, now this one is huge. This is huge because, since the break-in of Mar-a-Lago, when a president can declassify something just by waving a hand. This is declassified. That's it. A president's words are policy. U.S. policy is stated by the words of a president. Okay? So Biden said that if China attacks Taiwan, the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States, Joe Biden said, we would defend Taiwan. That makes it U.S. policy. Then we have some White House spokesperson or aide, we don't know who, tells 60 Minutes, that's not true, we will not defend Taiwan. Well, this is devastating, this moment. This is the worst of all of the interview, okay? Because who's running the United States? Who is running the United States military? Who is in charge of United States foreign policy? It's obviously not Joe Biden, according to left-wing 60 Minutes and CBS News, because 60 Minutes said, White House told them right after the interview, that is not true, we will not defend Taiwan, Biden is wrong. Who is this person? Who is this source? Oh, man. That shows you he is a figurehead. He is a puppet president. Someone else is running things. I don't know. Who could have told him that? Could have been Milley. Could have been General Milley Vanilli. Could have been his chief of staff. It could have been Jean-Pierre. It could have been Jill Biden. Who knows? But all I know is when the president says something, one of the things that it's the way it is, and one of the things that gives America strength in foreign policy is that when any president, whoever they are, says this is what we'll do, if this happens, the United States reaction will be this. And that means something. It used to, at least. Now it looks like we have a president who's not in charge, which is instability. That also could cause some inflation, too, on top of just the ridiculous spending. Have you ever heard, I'm going to throw this out to you guys, have you ever heard anything like this happen with any other president before? And it's happened with Joe multiple times, but this is very high profile. And that's the most devastating part of the interview. Have you ever heard a president say something so strong We will defend. And you fill in the blank country if they're attacked. And then some unknown underling at the White House says, that is not true. He should not have said that. Whoa. So who is this person behind the scenes? Maybe it's that person in the bunny costume. Remember that at Easter last year? Had all the control over Biden? I don't know. But who is it at the White House who has the authority to overrule the sitting president of the United States when it comes to U.S. military response? I've never heard such a thing happening before. And I'll tell you another thing about it. It's interesting. Why did they feel a need to go out of their way to state that to 60 Minutes? It's like whoever these people are behind Joe Biden want to make it clear that he's not in charge, someone else is. Our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. Now, before we break, I want to tell you guys about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the BioStation West Delray and Hormone Replacement Pellet Therapy. Hormone Replacement Pellet Therapy will change your life. It's changed mine. Hormone Replacement Pellet Therapy is a life changer for both men and women. As you grow older, your body produces fewer hormones. That's why, you turn out like Biden. You lose your energy. You lose your sex drive. You lose your ability to have sex. Women going through menopause. You slow down. You're taking naps all day. Hormone Replacement Pellet Therapy, all naturally, restores your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your 20s. Not only will you get your sex drive back, men and women, you'll have returned to you your ability to have sex on demand. Women, the signs and symptoms of menopause are stopped and 100% reversed. Night sweat's gone, mood swings gone, vaginal dryness, that's reversed too. And men, you'll get your energy back too. You'll go from being like Biden to being like Trump. Now, it's a completely free consultation with Dr. Matez, but you got to mention you heard about him on the radio. And by the way, no matter where you're located, give them a call, even if you're not in South Florida. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. Hormone Replacement Pellet Therapy works. I know it. I'm a patient of Dr. Matez. 561-320-8893. One more time, 561-320-8893. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. It's Monday. We'll take a break and be back right after this. 561-320-8893. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone else out there, make sure you like the video, okay? Now, there was a huge story with the January 6th committee that I'm going to get to after the break. The January 6th committee blew it. They got busted, and they got busted big time. I mean, super big time. And it's a very important story. I'm just pulling up the story. I posted it on Truth Social. This is absolutely amazing. Everything's fallen apart for the Trump haters. I mean, there's no getting around it. They're losing everywhere. And we're winning. So this is a good one. Oh, yeah. The story I'm going to share about the January 6th committee, you'll probably hear it first here, and a lot of people aren't going to talk about it because all these Trump haters.
Nearly 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores and over 17,000 Napa Auto Parts care centers.
Oh, yeah.
Everything you need to get up and go.
Yeah, the January 6th committee lied and got caught big time. Wait till you hear this. Oh, my goodness.
Authorities in London say all public viewing areas are full ahead of Queen Elizabeth President's funeral this morning. 1 million people are expected on the streets as many waited online over the weekend to pay their respects. ABC's Aaron Katursky has the latest from London.
The lying in state ended with a mother and daughter from Suffolk, about 2 hours from London. They were the last two granted wristbands for entry into Westminster Hall, where over the last 4
Let me see here. Where am I?
thousands of people have passed by to pay
Okay.
tribute to the gentle, thoughtful, and reassuring presence the Queen was in the life of this country.
China says it's launched a complaint with the U.S. after President Biden told CBS News the U.S. would come to the defense of Taiwan if China were to invade. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis continues to double down on his decision last week to send about 50 migrants by charter flight to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. Opponents have
Oh, yeah, no, this is a great story. This is a big one. I hope other people pick up on this story.
But the constant shedding.
Not just me.
But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper pet kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum. Easily getting around chairs and under the couch.
All right, we're coming back.
Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper pet kit. Because shed happens.
Opinions are like apples. Everyone's got one. Get yours in The Steve Kane Show.
All right, we are back. Oh, man. It's Monday morning, people. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. If you are just tuning in, you have missed a lot. And but there's more. There's more. I've only just scratched the surface. I've only gotten through my first story in my stack of stuff. But the January 6th Kangaroo Committee has been exposed. Well, you're going to love this, people. By the way, guess who came home over the weekend? Guess who came home yesterday? President Trump. President Trump is at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, that's right. He posted on True Social. President Trump is at Mar-a-Lago right now. And you know President Trump is up early. And, of course, we are the political radio show of Mar-a-Lago, since they are in our listening range. And President Trump on True Social arrived in Florida last night. That's last night, Sunday night. He came home last night. Arrived in Florida last night and had a long, detailed chance to check out the scene of yet another government crime. The FBI's raid and break-in of my home, Mar-a-Lago. I guess they don't think there's a Fourth Amendment anymore. And to them, there isn't. In any event, after what they've done, the place will never be the same. It was ransacked, and in far different condition than the way I left it. Many agents, and they didn't even take off their shoes in my bedroom. Nice. Now, this is absolutely, President Trump's back home at Mar-a-Lago. What must it be like to return to your home after it has been broken into and all of your most personal items have been gone through by a bunch of creeps that broke into your home, including your wife's underwear drawer? President Trump also posted on Truth, "Thank you to the many people who greeted me last night on my way from the airport to Mar-a-Lago. I will never forget the great people of this country. MAGA." Yeah, so I mean, that's, poor President Trump. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. It's terrible what they did. They ransacked it. They even went in his bedroom? My goodness. They violated the bedroom of President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump. These are really sick, disgusting people. And if you've ever been a victim of crime, if you've ever had your home broken into, it's an awful thing. I've not had this happen to my house, thankfully so, but someone in my immediate family had their home broken into, and it was ransacked. And it's something that never gets out of your mind. And that's what they did to Mar-a-Lago. But it feels good, though, that President Trump is back home in South Florida. Does that mean we're not going to have any? We may not have rain for the whole week. No. He's not that powerful. Can't stop the rains, but man. Okay. So the January 6th committee, the January 6th Kangaroo Committee They got busted big time over the weekend. Now, there was a story Friday I didn't share with you. It was Open Phones Friday because I didn't quite understand it. It was an incomplete story. And I didn't get into it on Friday because there wasn't enough information out about it to discuss it. It really had not even been verified. And I'm like, I don't know, this hasn't been verified. It was about the Oath Keepers in the January 6th committee. And now all the pieces have been put together, in the January 6th Kangaroo Committee has been exposed and busted. Now, here was the story. The January 6th committee on Thursday released audio as evidence that they said was audio of the Oath Keepers inside the Capitol during the attack, talking over a walkie-talkie app. And it was a very strange story, and I wasn't even sure it was real. Because I mean, how did these recordings get made, and how did they get them? It didn't seem real. I wasn't sure the story was real. I saw it in an online post somewhere on social media, and I wasn't sure it was a real story. Well, it was a real story. The January 6th Kangaroo Committee did release this this audio, saying it was the Oath Keepers on a walkie-talkie app inside the Capitol. It's true. And now we got the rest of the story. Oh my goodness. This is in the Gateway Pundit. Let me read here. The January 6th committee lied, and now they got caught. Wyoming GOP primary loser Liz Cheney and her fellow hacks on the January 6th committee are up to their old tricks. On Thursday, I'm reading from the Gateway Pundit. On Thursday, the January 6th Select Committee released new audio they claimed was a walkie-talkie app of communications among Oath Keepers inside the U.S. Capitol and outside the Capitol on January 6th. The January 6th committee published the alleged audio with video of January 6th protesters walking inside the Capitol that day. The January 6th committee says this. This is what they said. This is the official from the committee. The Select Committee has obtained a recording of communications over a walkie-talkie app among Oath Keepers who were inside the Capitol and others who were sharing intelligence from elsewhere. Listen to how they reacted to President Trump's tweets in real time. Okay, and they let the audio out. They posted this on Twitter, the January 6th committee, with this supposed audio that I am not able to play to you on the radio because of the language and the content of it. I can't play it on the radio, unfortunately. So the January 6th committee, they got their own blue checkmark Twitter account, tweeted this, what I just read to you, with this audio. The post was retweeted 16,900 times, liked more than 34,000 times, but it was not true. On Saturday, attorney Jonathan Mosley wrote the Gateway Pundit. He told the Gateway Pundit that the latest video and audio put out by the January 6th committee about intercepted walkie-talkie communications is not real. He said the recording was not at the U.S. Capitol and it was not from walkie-talkies. As the former attorney representing Kelly Meggs, he said he received the recording over Zello from the prosecution team on October 19th, 2021. It's a 2-hour, 20-minute recording of people at home watching television. They're watching the news of the Capitol breach on television, recording themselves. They're not Oath Keepers. They were not at the Capitol. They were a bunch of people sitting at home watching the news. These are not walkie-talkie calls, which would mean they could only be intercepted within a short distance of the Capitol. The attorney told the Gateway Pundit the recording was provided earlier to defense attorneys by the federal government. According to attorney Jonathan Mosley, the recording is not from the U.S. Capitol. It was a recording of people watching the news on television. Yeah, and you can tell when you hear it, you can tell it's completely silent in the background. There's no crowd noise that you would hear inside it's obviously fake. Okay? It's obviously fake. And they got busted, the January 6th committee. So the question is, was the January 6th committee, were they lying? Are they so deranged with their Trump derangement that they had something that they wanted to believe and put it out? Or are they just incompetent bureaucrats? I would say, knowing the January 6th committee, they're just liars. They found nothing on Trump because Trump did nothing wrong. And they got some... See, they think we're stupid. They think we are stupid. Now, they've got reason to believe the American people are stupid because there are Democrats out there, but we're not Democrats. We're Republicans. And if you want to call us MAGA Republicans, that's fine with me. Deplorables, you know, who follow the great MAGA king, whatever you want to say, yes, that's us. We're not Democrats. We know what's going on. And they got busted. So I want to know what you think about this. Did Liz Cheney's kangaroo January 6th committee know that this was fake, that this was not real recordings of the Oath Keepers? Or is it their Trump derangement that they wanted to believe? What do you think it is? I think they lied. I think they lied and they put out this fake news. They're real desperate. I mean, they're taking people's phones. They raided Mike Lindell. They're breaking into the home of President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. These are desperate people. And we're on the eve of the midterm election, and they are in panic mode. They are desperate to find something. It's almost October, and they have no surprise. Well, we got a surprise for you. It's called the Red Tsunami and the Blue Flush. That's the surprise. All right, we're going to take our first break of this hour. You're welcome to call in on anything I've brought up so far. Oh, man, we've only scratched the surface. My name is Brian Craig. Wait till you hear what I got next. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio. This is the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in the world. You'll never hear me criticize nor disagree with President Trump. That's right. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Back after this. Hear me criticize nor disagree with President Trump. That's right. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Back after this. Steve Kane Show.
Smell the truth.
The
Steve Kane Show with
All right, what am I got next? I got so much going on here. Make sure you subscribe if you're new.
Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom.
Oh,
right
yes.
In Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation. Each style embodying a distinct character.
Oh, yeah, wait till you hear this one.
To your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your
The January 6th committee wouldn't lie. Ronald, that's a good one. I like that one. They believe their lies? Nah, that gives them too much credit.
Hello, this is Mike in front
That gives them too much credit that they believe their lies.
And offering great deals on new and used tires. I have
Hey, give me a 1 if you have seen My Son Hunter. 1 if you have seen My Son Hunter. Great movie. I think I saw, was it 2 weeks ago it came out, or did it come out last week? I saw it. I can't remember if it's been 1 or 2 weeks. Oh, you guys got to call me on the air and tell me what you think about My Son Hunter.
Thank you.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in
That actor that played Hunter is great. They're talking about Brendan Fraser getting an Oscar. That guy should get an Oscar. I mean, I was totally lost in that performance. Wow, a lot of you have seen it. You know, call me on the air about My Son Hunter. I want to hear what you think about it. MySonHunter.com is how you find it. MySonHunter.com. Well, a lot of you have seen it. That's awesome. Oh, really? Oh, please. It is very worth watching.
Email your resume to jobs@vcmglive.com. You could be a part of a great industry that's fun and has a 6-figure income potential. If you're a sales professional,
Lily Trump Girl, well, thank you.
Advertising sales industry, or a recent college graduate looking to start your career.
Yeah, but it's still a great movie, Titanic, isn't it?
vcmglive.com. Great job with the highest
It brought the Titanic to life. I'm serious. Those of you that have seen My Son Hunter, call me on the air and tell me what you thought about it.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsborough.
We're coming back.
At 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. Coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Ready to get fired up? Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Callers on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, President Trump has come home to Mar-a-Lago. So when you call me on the air today, President Trump himself could be by the radio at Mar-a-Lago listening to one of our radio stations. So keep that in mind. If you want President Trump to hear what you think, this is the place to do it. Of course, last week was the FBI raid on Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow. They raided him like he was El Chapo. Like the way they treated Mike Lindell was like he was on the 10 most wanted list. Wait for him to come out of the Hardee's drive-thru. They followed him around all day, and then they box him in. They took his phone. And Mike Lindell has put together this incredible legal team led by Alan Dershowitz and said this at the Ohio rally Saturday.
My lawyers and I got together the last couple days, and on Tuesday, we're suing the United States government and the FBI. We're suing them for violating our First Amendment rights, our Fourth Amendment rights, our Fifth Amendment rights, and our Sixth Amendment rights.
Wow, that's amazing. That's Mike Lindell. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Listen, Mike Lindell needs you. He's been canceled by Walmart, all the other major retailers. His bank even threw him out of the bank. I've never heard of this. Why? Because he stands up for President Trump, because he stands up for MAGA. He's got some legal battles going on. He's being sued personally. His company's being sued. And now he's got this Alan Dershowitz dream team. Go to MyPillow.com. Stand with Mike Lindell. Help Mike Lindell. And support the Steve Kane Show at the same time. Save up to 66% off when you go to MyPillow.com. You know, the MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, I have 6 sets of these. 4 regular and 2 flannel. Okay? Right now, it's the lowest price ever on the Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. With our promo code Kane at checkout, just $29.98. This is the biggest bed sheet sale in the history of MyPillow. Just $29.98. It's a great time. Even if you don't need sheets, support Mike Lindell. Buy something at MyPillow.com. But you know, it's a good time to buy the flannel sheets because they're all in stock. All the colors, all the styles, all the sizes, because we're not in the cold time of year yet. So go to MyPillow.com, buy something, use our promo code Kane, save up to 66% off. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, callers on hold, stand by. I came across this. This is crazy, okay? So the Kangaroo Committee of Liz Cheney, the January 6th Unselect Committee, I was talking in the last segment, was totally busted with this fake story on the Oath Keepers. And now we found something else out. Listen to this. This is from TikTok. The guy you're going to hear from is not a Trump supporter. This guy is not MAGA. He's an attorney, and he has a popular TikTok channel, and he was offered $400 to make an anti-MAGA video on his TikTok. He was contacted by this left-wing group, and he went public and shared the whole story. This guy is not MAGA. He is not a Trump supporter, and he's exposed this. Listen to this. This is crazy. He goes through the whole story. Listen to this. This guy's on TikTok.
I was just offered $400 to make an anti-Donald Trump propaganda post related to the January 6th investigation that is completely not true. I should start out this video by saying I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, so that should give a little bit of context to where I'm coming from. I'm an attorney at Post Legal News and analysis on related topics. Okay, here we go with the story. So first thing first, I get an email from somebody with the Good Info Foundation. We'll talk about them a little more in a minute. I'm going to refer to this person as Jane. Jane sent me a message letting me know she represented the Good Info Foundation and that she was willing to offer a paid collaboration to discuss some topics related to January 6th. I said, sure, why not? I'll learn some more. Jane says the Good Info Foundation will give me $400 to make a post on my page and then share it to Instagram. So you see that blue link? All right, here, we're going to follow it. These are the specific requirements in order to obtain that $400 of how I should refer to the January 6th Capitol raid. Number one, I must call this a criminal conspiracy. Number two, I must say Trump Republicans were responsible. Number three, I must frame it as an attack on my country, an attack on America or Americans, a criminal conspiracy, and a committed crime. I must attribute the matter to MAGA Republicans. I must make clear that this was ongoing and unresolved, and most importantly, that I must channel all of this unto the manipulation of voter agencies so that I could turn their anger around this event into defiance that would make people more likely to vote in midterms. And the thing that struck me the most was this part, where I was told to talk about the aspects of the Trump campaign's plan, and I was supposed to say that the Trump campaign paid literally millions of dollars to make January 6th happen. So I figured, maybe I missed something. So I said, hey, Jane, what is the basis for the claim that the Trump campaign itself paid millions of dollars to make the January 6th siege of the Capitol happen? Jane doesn't answer the question. Hi, Preston, if you don't want to state that in the video, it's fine. You don't have to use all the bullet points provided. So I kept going. Sure, I'm just wondering if there's support for that claim. Jane doesn't answer again. Let me know if you are interested and the rate works for you. Thanks so much. I'm not interested and the rate doesn't work for me. This is the Good Info Foundation. They boast on their homepage that good information is the lifeblood of a democracy.
Okay, now that guy on TikTok, even though he's not a Trump guy, he's not MAGA. His name on TikTok is Trial by Preston. Trial by Preston on TikTok. He's a lawyer. He's not MAGA. So now we have Democrats. I don't know who's behind this. In the Democrat, is it Soros? Is it the DNC? Is it Jean-Pierre? I don't know. But we know Democrats are going around to social media, internet influencers, and offering to pay them money to go out there and slander Donald Trump and say things that are untrue, that have no basis in fact about January 6th. And this just happened over the weekend, people. This is not some old... This just came out over the weekend. And this guy, Trial by Preston, oh man, he deserves a great thanks for exposing this. If what they said about January 6th had any truth to it, would they have to offer to pay a guy $400 to make a video promoting their nonsense? I don't think so. Oh man, huge stuff here. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
This attorney, man. First of all, how cheap are they? Did you say $400?
$400, yeah. Well, to make a 60-second video, I guess they.
To be a liar, unbelievable. I think that guy is certainly going to, if he wasn't a supporter, he's certainly probably going to be a supporter.
Oh, yeah.
How can you expose them? I want to mention something about the rally. What a difference. President Trump comes out, chanting,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden has his rally with the hate speech, and I think anybody's saying they love him. The whole country loves Trump. I think everybody...
Yeah, even his kids, right? Ashley Biden leaves the diary around for people to find. Hunter leaves the laptops around. Yeah, I know. Not even his kids.
I think that a lot of people in our country are afraid to say they're Trump supporters, but I think when it comes to the vote, they're all going to...
Well, this guy in that video I just shared, the Democrats busted in trying to craft a fake narrative and get it going on TikTok. about January 6th. Hey, Doug, thanks for the call. Oh, man, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Steve will be joining us after the break. Don't go anywhere. Back after this. Number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Steve will be joining us after the break. Don't go anywhere. Back after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s.
Be right back, guys.
At 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. Our daytime high today, near 90, upper 80s to about 90, super humid with a chance of showers and storms. I'm WPBF 25. First warning, meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
Earlier, a multi-vehicle crash cleared up in Lantana on Lantana Road to Dixie Highway. Now we're looking at a multi-vehicle incident in Boca Raton on Lyons Road just south of Macho. I-95 and the Turnpike are still in great shape though from Boca Raton to Jupiter. We're accident-free and moving up to speed. We do have some more volume on 95 for the northbound coming from Deerfield Beach and Boca. Also in Davie, we have a multi-vehicle crash on Flamingo Road at 595. Also in Boca Raton, just be on the lookout. Track work has Northwest 2nd Street closed between Northwest 1st Avenue and Dixie Highway. The best alternate is Dixie Highway and Northwest 2nd Avenue. This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. Where your ride fires on all cylinders, so do you. That's why Napa is on a mission to keep you in motion. With nearly 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores and over 17,000 Napa Auto Part Care Centers, the Napa network has everything you need to get up and go. That's traffic, Chris Paul.
Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects with your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands, no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost Central Station.
I know, there's just all kinds of craziness going on.
LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector,
Okay, where are we going to go after the break?
and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
If you're new to the program, make sure that you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. I'm glad so many of you have seen My Son Hunter. Yes, it's a MAGA Monday. President Trump's back here in South Florida at Mar-a-Lago.
Protect yourself and protect your business. Call 561-723-6191. That's 561
Steve Kane Show.
6191. Eagle Eye, your local security protection services.
Mm-hmm.
Anne-Marie's Pizza and Wine Company. Family owned, family operated.
Hold on.
Grandma Carrie Ann herself is in the kitchen. Amazing pizza, sizzling Philly cheesesteaks, salads, pasta, subs, and much more. Live music, patio seating, and 2-for-1 on all beer and wine for Ladies' Night every Wednesday. Mention Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 and receive a 15% discount. Come visit us today at Anne-Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, your local family-owned Italian restaurant located on the corner of Copans Road and Federal Highway. That's Copans Road and Federal Highway. Anne-Marie's. We'll see you here.
If you have rare coins, diamonds, gold, silver, and watches to sell, and you're looking for a fair price, look no further than Tweary's Rare Coins and Jewelry. I'm Dean Muccio. Tweary's is family-owned and operated and have been in business for over 40 years in South Florida. Tweary's pays you a great price for your valuable items. You can
Yeah,
call
Janie.
561
Right on the money.
649 coin. That's 561-649.
Right on the money. I'm super MAGA too. What's up?
They are listed on Google as a legal
You know, one thing I love about
institute.
Tweary's
Legal.
coins and jewelry.
Oh, that's probably why they called a lawyer to do it. Yeah.
You can tell they love what they do. Kevin, who is fourth generation, he said that he takes calls from customers to 971 South Jog Road on the northwest.
Oh, that rally was spectacular, wasn't it, guys? That was a great rally.
Twiries, rare coin, and jewelry. Tell him Dean Ucho sent you.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats
Oh, man. All right, we're coming back.
Listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
This segment of the Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Connie Advisors. Seniors, medical open enrollment is approaching. Do you know what Medicare options are available to you? Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080, and she will answer all your Medicare questions. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Live, local, and in your face. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
All right. We are back. I'm Brian. Oh, man, it's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
Oh, man, big news day today. Now, before we jump into the news, and I haven't even gotten to everything yet. I got something new we got to talk about in a moment, but I heard from someone who went over to Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company in Pompano on the corner of Copans and US 1, and they had something that we didn't have that they told me that we have got to get the next time we are in. I've got it right. The Philly cheesesteak. This, let me tell you, I've not yet had the Philly cheesesteak, but I think the next time I head over to Anne Marie's, I'm going to get it. It comes in two sizes, by the way, regular and giant, loaded with steak. They also have a chicken Philly, not just the steak Philly. You can get the Philly cheese, either steak or chicken. But who I heard from, a listener, had the steak, and they were raving about it, Steve. They loved it. Yeah.
Everything is just spectacular. What's that lobster dish I love? The lobster ravioli. Oh. You're a lobster fanatic, which I am, by the way. You're going to love the lobster ravioli.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what it is about Anne Marie's in Pompano. It's family owned and operated. Everything is homemade, and they take pride in all of their food. It's like you're in their home, and they want you to have a great meal, and you will. Now, listen, Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, all the food is spectacular. People are just raving, and everyone who stopped by. Yeah, everyone who stopped by Anne Marie's since we started telling you about them, thanks so much. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Now, Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, open for lunch and dinner, closed on Mondays, by the way, but they're open the other 6 days of the week. All right. They're located on the corner of Copans and US 1 in Pompano, on the west side of Federal Highway, in the same shopping center as the movie theater. All right. Remember, closed on Mondays, but open the other 6 days. And when you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Okay. So I've gone over a lot already this morning, but I got something new I haven't addressed yet I want to share. Okay, because there's been a lot of talk about it. And the people that are hearing about it and talking about it don't want to play you what really happened. Now, there's been some by the way, President Trump is home at Mar-a-Lago, returning to Mar-a-Lago for the first time since the break-in. And before I get into this news story, let me pull up on Truth Social, Steve. President Trump talked about the condition of his home when he arrived home over the weekend, and I want to share it with you. This is what he says. This is President Trump on Truth Social. arrived in Florida last night and had a long and detailed chance to check out the scene of yet another government crime, the FBI's raid and break-in of my home, Mar-a-Lago. I guess they don't think there's a Fourth Amendment anymore, and to them, there isn't. In any event, after what they have done, the place will never be the same. It was ransacked. This is President Trump on Truth Social. It was ransacked, and in far different condition than the way I left it. Many agents, and they didn't even take off their shoes in my bedroom. Nice. And of course their shoes, I'm sure, filled with dirt and mud and whatever else. To return to your home after a break-in when it's been ransacked, even your most private areas of your home, it must be a difficult place to sleep in after something like that happens. Wouldn't you imagine, Steve? Yeah, especially when they're going through your wife's underwear drawer like a bunch of creeps. I mean, it's disgusting. Callers on hold, stand by, and keep in mind, since President Trump is back home here in South Florida at Mar-a-Lago, he could be listening to us this morning on one of our radio stations. We do cover Mar-a-Lago very well, and President Trump may hear your call. Okay, so there's some other fake news that the New York Post and others have been running, that Donald Trump is calling for violence, which is absurd, right? Donald Trump is not calling for violence, but they're saying that he is. And I didn't even think this was worthy of discussion because it was so absurd, so I pulled up the audio. Donald Trump is talking to Hugh Hewitt. Hugh Hewitt interviewed Donald Trump. Have you heard the audio, Steve, of the interview? No. Okay, well, I'm going to play it for you. And this is what I want to do.
Did I hear a recording? I'm familiar with the quote.
Well, I'm going to play you the actual audio of President Trump speaking with Hugh Hewitt. This is where they say he's called for violence. And I want to give out the phone number, and I want you and the listening audience to call in. I'm going to play this for you now. Give us a call. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Does this sound like what I'm about to play you? Donald Trump calling for violence. Now, what I want to, yes or no, I want to hear your thoughts. Now, Hugh Hewitt, he had asked President Trump what would happen, what would the reaction be if he were indicted, okay? What would the reaction be if he were indicted? And this is the exchange. Listen.
I think if it happened, I think you'd have problems in this country, the likes of which perhaps we've never seen before. I don't think the people of the United States would stand for it.
What kind of problems, Mr. President?
I think they'd have big problems. Big problems. I just don't think they'd stand for it. They will not sit still and stand for this ultimate of hoaxes.
Okay, where's the call for violence? Did you hear a call for violence, Steve? Well, yes or no?
Yeah, I'm going to give you both, yes and no. No, it's not.
Yes or no?
It's not a call for violence. However, that having been said, when I first heard it, I winced because I know what Donald Trump's enemies will do with a thing like that. And sure enough, they did just what I suspected they would do.
Yeah.
Why give these people material to feed their fantasies and to try to do harm to Donald Trump? Why give them that opportunity?
I don't think he gave them an opportunity. I don't trust Hugh Hewitt.
I wish he wouldn't do things like that.
What did he do? People would be upset, and it would cause a yeah.
No. You see that is a whole separate question. That's actually the most interesting thing to talk about. The question is it true what he said? That's a different question, and the answer to that is yes. I have a feeling it would not be.
No, he didn't. There's no call for violence. There's no discussion of violence. People would be outraged, but that doesn't mean violence. That this clip with Hugh Hewitt and our great president, it's a lot like that exchange with Megyn Kelly that President Trump had when he was. I think it was Don Lemon that interviewed him, and he said she was bleeding out of her ears, her eyes, bleeding out of everywhere. And then they started saying he was talking about her menstrual cycle. And President Trump said, I didn't say anything about that. That's where their dirty minds go. And that's where these Trump haters, That's where their mind goes. It's just like the Megyn Kelly bleeding from the ears comment, okay? He didn't say anything about violence. He didn't call for violence. He didn't imply violence. But they're angry, and that's how they feel.
I want to ask a question about something you said earlier. You mentioned that evidently Donald did a sarcastic throwaway referring to J.D. Vance.
Well, no, it was an interesting thing he said to J.D. Vance. Yeah, did you catch this at the rally?
I heard you mention it, and I want to know if anybody else heard it or what they...
Well, okay, let me go over that again, okay, because something happened. Okay. I don't know too much about J.D. Vance. I know Trump endorsed him, and I'm going to support whoever Donald Trump tells me to endorse, support. You know, whatever Donald Trump tells me to do, I'm going to do it, okay? And everyone else should do the same. And he does endorse people that you may have a beef with. You got to let that go and do what Donald Trump tells you. He's got the big picture here, and he's got a plan, and he knows what he's doing, okay? And he's got reasons for all of it. But anyway, he at the rally Saturday, it was amazing. He was introducing all the people there. He did invite J.D. Vance up to speak after this happened. I was surprised how tall J.D. Vance is. He was up next to Trump. He's a tall guy. But he said some terrible things about me in the past, but now he's kissing my A. That's not a nice thing to say. And someone told me in the chat room, yeah, it is. We're up against a break, so I got to say this quick. Someone told me in the chat room on YouTube that earlier in the day, J.D. Vance was interviewed by Right Side Broadcasting, and J.D. Vance did not look well. He looked off, like something was wrong. And I didn't see that interview or hear it. If someone did see that interview, give us your observations of that J.D. Vance interview on Right Side Broadcasting. Something happened between Trump and J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance was trying to do damage control by sucking up to President Trump, is all I can assume. Right? Sounds like that to you, Steve? Now listen, we're up against the break, so if you're on hold, stand by. 888-465-2631. Also, your thoughts on that Hugh Hewitt Trump interview. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go anywhere. Listen, we're up against the break, so if you're on hold, stand by. 888-465-2631. Also, your thoughts on that Hugh Hewitt Trump interview. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go anywhere.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of South Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet.
I don't know. Someone told me that he looked off in that interview earlier. I didn't see it.
Providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Call 561-646-8560. That's 561-646-8560.
Hear that music? That means it's Christmas shopping season again. And when you're Christmas shopping, there's no better place to go than MyPillow.com. And with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you will find the lowest prices ever on top MyPillow.
Oh, man.
Right now, order your
Make sure you subscribe if you're new to my channel. And everyone, please like the video.
For both men and women. The MyPillow that started it all is just $19.98. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is 50% off. The MyPillow pet bed is 50% off too. There's
Steve
also
Kane
incredible
Show.
savings on the 6-piece MyPillow towel set, the 100%
Hold on.
Giza cotton dream sheets, the MyPillow bathrobes. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of it with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order over the phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy. Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50.
Well, you always got to beware of someone who spent their time in California in the tech industry.
Visit staplesconnect.com/this is your
And that's
sign.
J.D. Vance.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, because here we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunity to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.
Smarter than 95,000 milligrams of B6. Get smarter with the Steve Kane Show, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
Yes, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here, and if you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy, you want to hear this message. Listen, doctors will even tell you, everyone will tell you, there's no treatment for neuropathy, which it's not true. There is not just a treatment for neuropathy. There is a treatment at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano that works. Steve is a patient. It worked with him. And neuropathy is painful, that numbness, that pain, that burning, that tingling in your hands, in your feet, loss of balance caused by muscle weakness, muscle twitching. Oh my goodness. The feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet.
The balance issue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of symptoms that are anywhere from dreadfully painful to just incapacitating.
Yeah.
Brian's right. There's nothing you can do about neuropathy. Well, at Lighthouse, believe you me, they have treatments that available nowhere else that really make the difference.
And you saw relief in your symptoms right away. Now listen, I'm going to give you the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. Here's the number: 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com, and rid yourself of all of those torturous neuropathy symptoms. Okay, so let's go to our phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We brought up a lot in the last couple hours. It's a hot weekend and morning for news, and yeah, okay.
Fits neatly in here. What Trump is going to be doing from now on, he started to do it this weekend, is he's doing what I choose to call group promos. Now that we're at the end of the process of the primary, moving down the home stretch, he's now starting on the Senate to push there's 4 or 5 very, very close races that are all vital, and he's starting to push groups of people now rather than just.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one name that he's just this may be a fantasy of mine. I mean, this just may be a lapse of my brain. That's why I'm throwing this out so you can correct me. But he doesn't talk a lot about the football player.
Herschel Walker?
Yeah.
In Georgia?
He seems to leave.
Well, he has. I haven't seen a Georgia rally. He was just talking about Ohio people, really.
No. He did a rundown of all the 4 or 5 key ones, Fetterman and.
Well, okay.
Key Senate ones. Now, again, it may have just been my imagination. If anybody else has noticed that, or.
Well, the reason he was talking about Pennsylvania and Ohio is because it's close. Pennsylvania borders Ohio, and there's a lot of Pennsylvania people there, I think. But anyway, I don't know. Let's find out. All right, now listen, if you're on hold, we're going to go to the phones right now. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And I noticed, it was raining all weekend, President Trump has flown home to Mar-a-Lago, and it's sunny out. Just a coincidence? Maybe, but it's been raining nonstop, and now it's sunny out. Wow. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Wesley with all the number ones you saw, and from Texas. And I did not get to see the interview with J.D. Vance, but I did see him speaking on the podium before Trump.
J.D.
He was very uncomfortable.
Really? Something happened. You know,
he was not in his comfort zone.
Based on what Trump said, he said some bad things about me in the past, but now he's kissing my A. And he did that in front of the crowd on the podium. Either something he said in the past has come to light, or he said something recently behind President Trump's back that President Trump found out about. Something happened. And, listen.
Why would Trump make a remark like that? It seems unnecessary.
No, not at all.
Shoots from the hip a lot, which is part of his charm. There's no question of that. You never know what's going to come out. And that's why everybody's always hanging on his every word, and everybody's always anxious to see what he's going
to... He was getting J.D. Vance back in line. What do you think, caller?
Yeah, I think that might have been it, because he kept, and whenever he'd get a lot of applause, he'd say, wow, this is great, I could get used to this. Mm-hmm. It was just real odd.
So you saw J.D. Vance's speech by himself earlier, and he seemed off. When you say off, what do you mean? Like someone told me on the Right Side Broadcasting interview, he did not look at the interviewer in the face and the eyes. He was looking away from the interviewer, is what someone told me.
Well, there's obviously a story here, so maybe we'll uncover it before the show's over.
What'd you think about the speech of J.D. Vance, caller? You saw it. When you say he was off, what do you mean? How?
He was very uncomfortable, and it's like he couldn't quite finish his thought. And when everybody applauded, like I said, he was just like, I could get used to this.
You know what might have happened? Whatever he said that Trump found out about, maybe Trump had not landed yet. He hadn't met with Trump yet, and he knew he was going to be seeing him shortly, and he was afraid.
That could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad Trump did it. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Yeah, interesting. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joe from New Jersey.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Good morning, gentlemen. Steve, good to hear your voice.
Joe, what do you know?
Brian, I just want to mention that in Trump's speech the other night, he was praising the dictator eliminating drug dealers by murdering them. President, that the evil dictatorship in China murders everyone, has concentration camps currently killing and executing Uyghurs.
Really?
I think I saw the thing you're referring to. I think Trump, I think if I remember it correctly, it was in the context of the death penalty for drug dealers in light of all this mass deaths that are occurring because of the fentanyl. I think that's what it was.
But unfortunately, it's all coming from China. He's using China as an example.
Oh, so that's interesting. So you're taking issue with China. That means you must not have any. You must not be wearing clothing or have anything in your home that's made there, because you're taking that stand.
But I hate China. I hate communism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. What Steve said was right. You just don't want to hear it. He has talked about in past rallies. I've heard him talk about a death penalty for drug dealers. Now I know, and I think that's not a bad idea. What do you think?
Well, sure. If you want to kill drug dealers.
No. The death penalty for convicted drug dealers. Are you for or against that?
Shoot them all in the face. I could care less. I just don't want to praise a dictatorship from a communist country like China. That's all.
No one needs to speak to Donald Trump. I just don't think you get what listen. Somebody can be a terrible person. Okay, but you can. There can be something that they do right, and that's all Trump's talking about.
Thank you for your call.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, not necessarily. Our number is 1-888-GO-CANE-1. No. A lot of times, I wanted to talk to that guy. Unfortunately, but he just doesn't get he doesn't have the intellectual capacity, that caller, to get what Trump is saying. He's not saying that the communist dictatorship is something to be proud of. What he's saying is when they have people that are poisoning and killing their kids, that they know how to deal with them. And we should have stronger penalties here in this country for these drug dealers instead of letting them out with no bail or or letting them out of jail ever. No, one of the biggest problems we have is this fentanyl going on right now, and nothing's being done about it. Well, he's the father of 2 drug addicts, so he has sympathy for dealers and addicts and druggies.
Probably has a piece of the.
Well, yeah, the whole southern border business is a drug smuggling operation. I told you the Chinese are shipping the fentanyl to ports on the Pacific coast of Mexico. The drug cartels unload the fentanyl and they put it in all the pockets and purses and backpacks of the migrants that jump the border illegally. The southern border migration of these illegals is the largest drug trafficking operation in the history of the planet Earth, and Joe Biden's allowing it to happen. So, and they, of course, if I know what's going on, the White House has to know what's going on, I would think. Yeah, even this White House. So, yeah. So in the next hour, we've got more to share, just some bizarre discussions on NBC News about our great governor, Ron DeSantis, which I want to share with you after the top of the hour. But I want to take a moment to tell you guys about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. It works. Over 2 weeks ago, I went in and had the laser away pain treatment to my knee, which was in pain. Here I am 2.5 weeks later, completely pain-free. The only time I even think about, I've forgotten I've had pain. If I wasn't doing the commercials telling you guys about calling him and get rid of your pain, I would even forget about it. And yesterday, I went for a ride on my scooter. I call it the MAGA scooter. I have a 150cc, scooter. And when I would put it in, when I drive somewhere with it before the laser away pain treatment from Dr. Appleton, and I'd put the kickstand down, I'd have to put all my weight on my right leg and pull it back on the kickstand, and it would hurt like a son of a gun. And yesterday, I went out on the scooter for the first time since the treatment, and when I put it on the kickstand, I was like, wow, this is amazing. It is painless to do this. Now listen, laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton works on more than just knees. Any joint, neck pain, tennis elbow, neck pain, hand pain, finger pain, back pain, sciatica, strains and sprains, bursitis, did I say hip pain, arthritis. If you've got pain, it works. I'm telling you, call Dr. Appleton. You can see him today. Walk-ins are welcome, okay? He's open 6 days a week, the 6th day being Saturday. Here's his number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Now make sure you tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio so you can take advantage of that no-charge consultation. 954-973-0710. No injections, no drugs, no surgery, and say bye-bye to your pain with Dr. Philip Appleton. We'll take our top of the hour break and be right back after this. No injections, no drugs, no surgery, and say bye-bye to your pain with Dr. Philip Appleton. We'll take our top of the hour break and be right back after this.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. Our daytime high today, near 90, up to about 90, super humid with a chance of showers and storms. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies.
Okay, I got this story on Ron DeSantis next, which is awesome.
Vehicle crash on the I-95 northbound ramp to Lantana Road. The off-ramp right lane is blocked, so be sure to use caution on the approach there. There's also a multi-vehicle crash on the I-95 northbound ramp to Blue Heron Boulevard. The off-ramp right shoulder is blocked there, so be sure to use caution as well there. In West Palm, we have an accident with multiple lanes blocked on Community Drive and Military Trail. We still have a multi-vehicle crash on Palmetto Parkway to Ponderosa Drive. And in Lake Worth, US 1 northbound is still shut down by a multi-vehicle crash between Ocean Avenue and Federal Highway.
If you're new to my channel, please subscribe.
By Lowe's, don't miss the energy savings event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major.
And everyone else, please like the video. If you've not already liked the video, only about half of you have liked the video, so make sure you like the video. We'll be back in about 90 seconds.
ABC News update.
ABC News now, I'm Brian Clark. Authorities in London say all public viewing areas are full ahead of Queen Elizabeth's funeral this morning. 1 million people are expected on the streets as many waited online over the weekend to pay their respects. ABC's Aaron Katursky has the latest from London.
The lying in state ended with a mother and daughter from Suffolk, about 2 hours from London. They were the last two granted wristbands for entry into Westminster Hall, where over the last 4.5 days, hundreds of thousands of people
passed by
to pay tribute to the gentle, thoughtful, and reassuring presence the Queen was the wife of this country.
China says it's launched a complaint with the U.S. after President Biden told CBS News the U.S. would come to the defense of Taiwan if China were to invade. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis continues to double down on his decision last week to send about 50 migrants by charter flight to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. Opponents have accused him of playing political games with people's lives. This is ABC News.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper pet kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair.
Well, thank you, Connie, for liking the video.
From just one swipe. And the best part, Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper pet kit, because shed happens.
Get it off your chest. Just call in 888-COCAINE-1. Hello. You'll thank us later. The Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. It is Monday. Oh, man. Oh, man, Steve. I tell you, a lot of great news. Okay, so Martha's Vineyard had a complete meltdown. 50 illegals came to town, and and I'm not making this up. I'm sure you've seen it. They called in the National Guard. They declared a state of emergency. And got them out of town, put them on buses, and who knows where they went. We don't know. They disappeared them. Did they? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Welcome to America, right? The Army comes after you. What a terrible representation. And Ron DeSantis is saying today that there will be more planes heading from Florida to Martha's Vineyard. Sorry, guys, you're going to have to keep dealing with it. So Chuck Todd on Meet the Press, yesterday was talking about why did Ron DeSantis do this? And of course, Chuck Todd, if he does not have a place on Martha's Vineyard, his friends do, right? So let me play this. This is Chuck Todd yesterday. He's on Meet the Press, which is still on television, believe it or not. And they're talking about why the real reason Ron DeSantis sent the illegals to Martha's Vineyard.
But there's a timing question I have, Leanne. I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, Lindsey Graham comes out with his 15-week abortion ban. And all of a sudden, the next day, Ron DeSantis gets that off the front page. I'm not saying they're connected, but boy, it seemed convenient timing. Peter, I've gotten a few people wondering if we're just getting played by DeSantis. He's pulling a Trump on us, right? We're sitting here. This is not the center of attention, but boy, he changed the subject and we all went to it. It's like, it's hard to, you can't. We know it's a political stunt. We know it's for media attention. But these were human beings we couldn't ignore.
Yeah. I mean, to say, obviously, he's getting criticized for exploiting people for a political purpose, but he's got us talking about it. He's got us talking about, and the point that he's making is, an irrational one to talk about. What level of responsibility do states that are not at the border have to help out? Fair enough. Obviously, doing it in this way is not actually solving the problem. But look, this is the playbook we've seen now the last 3 election cycles. It worked for the Republicans as far as they were concerned with Trump in 2016. Last time, he tried to make immigration a big issue.
I disagree. I mean, I was just going to say, it does work in the rhetoric.
Right. Okay, now a couple of things. They're just in a panic. Okay. All right. So I don't know how they can complain about Ron DeSantis or Greg Abbott relocating illegals since Martha's Vineyard just did it, right? I mean, they relocated them. They didn't want them. They relocated them. But No, this is not a distraction on the abortion. Ron DeSantis' position on abortion is very popular here in Florida. We have a 10-week ban, okay, on abortion, and that's the way it is, and it's not controversial. Everyone supports that. In fact, the only controversy is that it's too late into the pregnancy. Some would like to have it never, so that's that, but no, DeSantis' position in Florida is very, very popular. But what's going on here is amazing. Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott dumped more people off in front of Kamala's house, by the way, yesterday. If you missed this, what Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, who obviously have coordinated this, what they've done is something that the only other Republican I've seen do what they've done is Donald Trump, and that is to be able to change and control the narrative of the news cycle. And whenever you're responding to the narrative that's being set, you're losing. And the Democrats, they lost. Did you see the press conference with the Democrat Martha's Vineyard lawyer over the weekend, Steve? Okay, I'm not playing the audio because it's more of a visual. Okay, they had this. So I'll have to describe it to you. They had this lady lawyer as they were from the deportation site at Martha's Vineyard. And by the way, there were more reporters there than illegals. So, so if the island is too crowded, why do they invite hundreds of reporters there? But the Martha's Vineyard attorney had this press conference, and the look on her face that I can't show you on the radio, that's why I'm not playing the audio, she was red with anger. She looked like Greta Thunberg when she gave that speech. How dare you come to the children? Remember that speech? She looked like Greta Thunberg at the United Nations, this lawyer. They just can't have these peasants coming to the vineyard. And they wouldn't even let them inside an air-conditioned building. They made them go and wait in a tent. They wouldn't even let them inside to use they gave them porta potties. They wouldn't even let them use a toilet that one of them may use. And I love this thing. They were claiming that there's a housing shortage on Martha's Vineyard. Are you kidding me? These houses are like 15,000 square feet. With 12 bedrooms in them. So I don't know how they can claim to have a housing shortage.
It also shows you the total lack of
empathy?
Deafness.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just have no idea what they did. It was a great opportunity. If they had been sharp, if they had Trump-like mind and thought quickly, they could have turned that into a great situation for their message. They could have welcomed all these people in to send out for food and entertained them and given them a couple of days to rest and get together. They could have turned it into a positive PR thing, but they were so upset at the idea of peasants staying in their sacred getaway place that they just freaked out and did the stupid thing.
Yeah, and they hate, they're such bigots and such snobs. If they would have done what you said, which was they couldn't even get themselves to pretend to embrace these people. And they can't handle 50, but Texas is supposed to handle 500,000.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Oh, yeah.
That happening yesterday was worth 1,000.
No, they'll never recover. So Governor DeSantis, our great governor here, he's the governor of Ron DeSantis' Free Florida. Ron DeSantis had a press conference. Listen to this.
When I heard that the president is scrambling to get his cabinet together to try to address the fact that you have governors who are helping to relocate illegal aliens to sanctuary cities. He didn't scramble to get his cabinet together when we had millions of people illegally pouring across the southern border. He didn't scramble to get his cabinet together when you had 53 migrants die in some trailer in Texas because they were neglected by the federal government. You didn't see him scramble to get his cabinet together when we had Americans that were victimized by criminal aliens that he led across the border. You didn't see him scramble to get his cabinet together when we hit record fentanyl deaths, which that fentanyl is coming across his open border. It's only when you have 50 illegal aliens end up in a very wealthy, rich sanctuary enclave that he decides to scramble on this. And so I think what we are doing...
So beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I think what we're continuing to do is use every tool at our disposal to insulate the state of Florida from the negative ramifications of his reckless border policies. And yes, that involves helping with transport. It involves suing on catch and release, which we have done. It's involved making sure that contractors are held accountable if they're facilitating this into our state. And we have a statewide grand jury that's looking at different types of practices that may be going on in the state that's exacerbating the problem. And so, the end of the day, this is a massive policy failure by the president. This is a massive and intentional policy that is causing huge amount of damage all across the country, and it's all rooted in a failure to take care that the laws are faithfully executed and to fulfill his oath of office. And so instead of...
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's just great. I mean, he was wonderful over the weekend, and he doesn't back down. You know, in the old days, before Trump came down the escalator, if a Republican did something like this, by Monday they'd be apologizing. Then by Tuesday they'd be meeting with Hispanic faith leaders, and then on Wednesday they'd come out with the faith leaders and apologize for what they did. And Ron DeSantis stands up to them, you know, and says enough. You know, we're not going to be pushed around. And then he said yesterday they're going to send more planes with illegals to Martha's Vineyard, and that's the one that's going to be most interesting, because I think the private airport there may deny them landing clearance when they get to Martha's Vineyard and try to divert the flight. So, and that's going to be a big news event. This is you know what it reminds me of, these Martha Vineyards types? It's when Roosevelt wouldn't let the Jews come here from Europe that were fleeing the Holocaust. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. What was the name of that ship? The St. Louis. Yeah, oh yeah, and he turned and what happened to those Jews? Many of them ended up dead in concentration camps when the Democrats said, we don't want any Jews here, and sent them back to Nazi-occupied Europe. That's what they're doing now. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the hour. If you'd like to call in, please do. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're welcome to call in about anything we've brought up so far this morning. Yeah, that would be great. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Vance.
Yeah.
Dust up.
That would be great. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it or not. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty
Steve Kane Show.
Make your mouth water. Wings Plus,
Hold on.
located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Hey listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Seniors, how would you like to save money on your Medicare Part B premium?
Don't pay too much. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and find out how much money you can save. There are also changes to prescription drug plans in 2023. Find out how much money you can save on your prescription plan and Medicare Part B premium. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. No matter where you are in Florida, Debbie can help. 954-753-8080.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. When we had a leak in our roof at the Kane household, we called Tom Laporta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602. And tell him Steve Kane sent you.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now of Coral Springs, on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall. Open Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary.
Anne-Marie's Pizza and Wine Company. Family owned, family operated. Where Grandma Carrie Ann herself is in the kitchen. Amazing pizza, sizzling Philly cheesesteaks, salads, pasta, subs, and much more. Live music, patio seating, and 2-for-1 on all beer and wine for Ladies' Night every Wednesday. Mention Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 and receive a 15% discount. Come visit us today at Anne-Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, your local family-owned Italian restaurant located on the corner of Copens Road and Federal Highway. That's Copens Road and Federal Highway. Anne-Marie's. We'll see you here.
Grab your coffee and get ready to be triggered. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. You know, I was listening during the break. The recorded commercial with you for Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting was playing, Steve. And I got to tell you guys, it may be sunny today, right now at this moment, but who knows what it's going to be this afternoon. This is still hurricane season. This is still rainy season. And, you know, if you got a wet spot on your ceiling and you do what Steve did, you know, Tom can help you, but it's going to be a lot more involved. You had a wet spot on your ceiling, you did nothing, then you had another wet spot, then a wet spot here, a wet spot there, a wet spot everywhere. Yeah, and what happened is you ended up needing not just a whole new roof, but 40% of the drywall in your home had soaked up all that leaky rainwater, and that deadly black mold was growing. You had to get the drywall replaced, the roof replaced, and it created a breeding ground for the termites that were eating what was left of your home up, so you had to get that taken care of. If you would have called Tom Laporta when you saw that first wet spot, a simple repair would have been all you need. And one of our listeners had a leak in their roof. They called Tom Laporta. Listen to this.
Hey, Brian. Just wanted to call and let you know we had Tom Laporta come, an emergency, because of a leak we had in our roof, and he came almost immediately. He's a great guy, and he's going to do a great job for us. So thank you so much for recommending him. Love your show.
Yeah, so give Tom Laporta a call. He's a good MAGA guy, and no matter oh yeah, and no matter where.
Mm-hmm. On our home and any kind of thing related to building, you can to do the job, do it right at a fair price. He's a great guy.
Yeah, now he's a good MAGA guy, which means he likes Trump, okay? And no matter where you're located in the state of Florida, he can help you. Now, I'm going to give you out his number right now. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, all right? You bypass the office receptionist and all that. It's 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602. Yeah, and as Steve said, ask him about the Trump roof. I have a tile behind me from Mar-a-Lago. Tom has, at Laporta Contracting, the actual tiles from Mar-a-Lago, and he can give you a Trump roof too. So give him a call. You can find him online at laportacontracting.com. All right. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Let's go back to our phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Bill from Sanford.
Hey, Bill.
Bill, how are you?
I have a suggestion for Governor Abbott and Governor DeSantis. When they fly or bus these illegals to these different sanctuary cities or towns, that they include tents and coolers with sandwiches to let them set up shop like in front of the vice president now. That would send it.
Well, no, listen, what they did, especially in Martha's Vineyard, okay, these are sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. So what that tells you is they're ready and equipped to handle people. And if you send them there with everything, you don't expose that they're sanctuary cities in name only. You know, you don't want to send them there with everything.
Suggestion.
And not a good one. It wasn't a good suggestion. But hey, listen, if you had good suggestions, you would get out of Sanford. Who wants to live in Sanford? All right, take care. That's where George Zimmerman lives, and yeah. So and Sanford is the birthplace of BLM. Good, you know, Trayvon Martin. All right. So I was talking in the 6 o'clock hour. There was a devastating interview on 60 Minutes with Joe Biden last night. 60 Minutes is not in the business of making Democrat presidents look bad. 60 Minutes is in the business of resurrecting failed Democrats. For example, when Bill Clinton was running for president the first time against George Bush 41, H.W. Bush, all the women came forward, right? All the sex stuff. And 60 Minutes immediately went into what their stated mission is, right? A PR wing for whatever the Democrat guy is at the time. They brought Bill and Hillary on to make them look like a happily married couple and save him, right? They did that. Well, they had Joe Biden on 60 Minutes last night, and it was a devastating interview. Let me play this one clip. This is 60 Minutes asking Joe Biden, what happens if China attacks Taiwan?
What should Chinese President Xi know about your commitment to Taiwan?
We agree with what we signed on to a long time ago. And that there's a one China policy, and Taiwan makes their own judgments about their independence. We are not we're not encouraging their being independent. That's their decision.
But would U.S. forces defend the island?
Yes, if in fact there was an unprecedented attack.
After our interview, a White House official told us U.S. policy has not changed. Officially, the U.S. will not say whether American forces would defend Taiwan, but the commander-in-chief had a view of his own. So unlike Ukraine, to be clear, sir, U.S. forces, U.S. men and women would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion.
Yes.
Okay, so this was devastating because he gave the interview. He said, yes, the United States military will defend Taiwan. He said it twice. But then some unnamed aide, we don't know who this person is, okay, told 60 Minutes, that is not true. Joe Biden is not in charge of U.S. foreign policy. Joe Biden is not in charge of the military. No such thing will happen. I have never in my life, this is not the first time this has happened with Biden, I have never seen something like that happen with any president in the past. Where some unknown who's in charge of the U.S. right now? Is it Milley? Is it Susan Rice? Is it Jean-Pierre? Who is this person that told 60 Minutes the President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief is not in charge of our military? There will be no military response if China attacks, and he's not in charge of our foreign policy. That's unheard of. Yeah.
It is.
Well, if there's that much disarray in the leadership roles and the power structure of the federal government, if there was another 9/11 event, how would we even respond? You know, that is that's scary. You know, it's bad enough having this senile old coot in charge, right? But when you find out that there's a conflict on who really is in charge at the highest level, he's a figurehead. He's almost like a deposed president. Like there's been some kind of secret coup and there's someone behind the scenes that's in charge of our military and foreign policy. And what kind of message does that send to the world? Yeah. Well, the wizard at least was in control behind the curtain. You know, this is worse. So then 60 Minutes, they asked, people, 60 Minutes is not in the business of making Democrats look bad. They want Democrats to look good. Oh, the next clip, I'll have to play it after the break. because we don't have enough time before the next break to play it and discuss it. But after the bottom of the hour break, this next clip I have from 60 Minutes interview with Joe Biden last night is, this shows how out of touch he is with reality in ways that, I mean, I wish I wouldn't have even, there's that saying, there's some things you can't unsee. This is one of those things that I can't unsee that I wish I would not have known about, because China, what 60 Minutes just said through this source is, China, take Taiwan, it's yours. There'll be no U.S. response. Biden's not in control. Somebody else is. All right, listen. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll come back with this next clip from 60 Minutes, which is very scary, and more of your calls as well. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Steve is here. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And don't forget, if you miss a portion of the show, go to our radio station website, oldiesouthflorida.com. The show is archived there every day. Back after this. 2631. And don't forget, if you miss a portion of the show, go to our radio station website, oldiesouthflorida.com. The show is archived there every day. Back after this.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning coffee.
Hey, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. Our daytime high today, near 90, upper 80s to about 90, super humid with a chance of showers and storms. I'm WPBF 25. First warning, meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 at 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies.
Go to bed, Elizabeth. Oh my goodness, the day's just starting.
Crash right now on the I-95 northbound ramp to lane 10 Road. The off-ramp right lane is blocked, so be sure to use caution on the approach there. There's also a multi-vehicle crash on the I-95 northbound ramp to Blue Heron Boulevard. The off-ramp right shoulder is blocked there, so be sure to use caution as well there. In West Palm, we have an accident with multiple lanes blocked on Community Drive and Military Trail. We still have a multi-vehicle crash on Palmetto Park Road and Ponderosa Drive. And in Lake Worth, US 1 northbound is still shut down by a multi-vehicle crash.
Oh my goodness.
The southbound lanes are open. This quarter is sponsored by Lowe's. Don't miss the energy savings event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9.
Haven't been to bed yet. Oh.
That's traffic on Chris Barr.
I've been up since
Would you like a free doorbell camera?
about 2:30 in the morning.
Doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050
Oh, man.
will get a free doorbell camera that connects with your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands, no matter where
Richie
you
makes
are.
the show. What are you, Richie's wife?
Is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use
If Richie makes the show, I'm in trouble.
monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
Well, I got up really early today because I had to get together all this audio for the show this morning. All the audio that I play, I get all that in the morning before the show and do all the editing and everything, so it takes a little time. So that's why some mornings I have to wake up around 2:30 to get it all done.
His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
You want to feel
About 2.5 minutes till we're back.
part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong.
Well, thank you for watching.
We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you, and together we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard, aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters of this station.
The Steve Kane 2023 MAGA Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex at a Fort
Well, thank you, Deborah.
First stop at San Juan, Puerto Rico, then Tortola in the British Virgin Islands, and then St. Kitts, with exclusive events just for our group. Fine dining together every night, cocktail parties, shore excursions, onboard activities, and a whole lot more. On the line is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
I blocked this group space during COVID, during the height of the pandemic, so we've got some incredible deals.
Call Ian right now.
You went to the rally? Well, you should call us on the air and tell us about it.
244-5779. 561-244-5779. Join us as we celebrate our president, Donald Trump. Make your reservation right now. 561.
Oh, well, thank you, Leslie. Welcome. Oh, the 14-hour play on Sundays I do? Yeah.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain.
We'll be back in about a minute and 15 seconds or so.
Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the
Temporal lobe epilepsy. I've never heard of that.
call today 954-922-4633.
Oh, wow, Annie, that goes way back.
954-922-4633. That's 954.
Oh, wow, you go way back.
633 BrightonDentalCare.com.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now at Boca in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is.
Steve Kane Show.
East side of 441. Open Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary.
Hey, hold on.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things.
Thank you, Lori Ann.
Simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You know, our MAGA cruise is coming up. It'll be here before you know it. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex out of Fort Lauderdale for a week with our great MAGA group. Our group is filling up. I'm here to tell you, we out of Fort Lauderdale, which is a beautiful port. We go to San Juan, Puerto Rico, Tortola, and the British Virgin Islands, St. Kitts, and you're hearing about all the activities we have planned, dinner together every night, shore excursions. But you want to call and lock in your reservation now. It is filling up. My daughter is bringing a friend, so she has someone to hang out with, you know, as opposed to just her stuffy old dad. And so my daughter and I, we called Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and made reservations for my daughter's friend to come, and it is really filling up. If you don't call and lock in your space, there's going to be a morning, Steve, when we come on the air and announce we're filled up. It's getting that busy. So call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot, reserve your spot, and there's an incredible deal going on that will end without notice for those of you that are traveling alone. Singles, you know, there's a huge discount if you're traveling alone. That is the first time a cruise line has offered this deal. It really is an incredible deal. Call in a Cruise and Travel Depot and join us. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Okay, so Biden was on 60 Minutes, and we found out from 60 Minutes that Joe Biden, that some aide controls foreign policy and someone else is controlling the military, not the commander-in-chief, which is frightening. I mean, I don't know if that frightens anyone else out there, but I don't know who's in charge. So then, 60 Minutes, they ask him about those who say he is unfit to hold the office of president. Listen to this. This really shows you how out of touch with everything Biden is.
Mr. President, you are the oldest president ever.
Pretty good shape, huh?
Which leads to my next...
Well, now, first, before I play the rest of it, he can't even walk, right? And if you've noticed, like when he did the Gates from Hell speech and others, they've got this new thing now where Jill walks him to the podium, pretends to be a loving couple because he can't walk by himself, and then walks him away. You've noticed that new little scheme they're doing? He is not even, he thinks he is looking great, youthful, and is fit.
You are the oldest president ever.
Pretty good shape, huh?
No.
Which leads to my next question. You are more aware of this than anyone. Some people ask whether you are fit for the job. And when you hear that, I wonder what you think.
Watch me.
Wow, okay, now the whisper's out. Watch me. Now keep in mind, he's shaking hands with Ghost on stage. Remember the time when he got to the White House and couldn't find the door, and he was walking up the grass and up the hill and around the side of the White House? I mean, and of course the way he walks with the Alzheimer's shuffle going on, where, you know, with that gait, that we believe you're unfit because we are watching you, Biden.
Mr. President, you are the oldest president ever.
Pretty good shape, huh?
Which leads to my next question. You are more aware of this than anyone. Some people ask whether you are fit for the job. And when you hear that, I wonder what you think.
Watch me. I mean, honest to God, that's all I think. Watch me. If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity, then you know, that's one thing. It's another thing to just watch and you know, keep my schedule. Do what I'm doing. I think that, you know, I don't, when I sit down with our NATO allies and keep them together, I don't have them saying, wait a minute, how old are you, what did they say? You know, I mean, it's a matter of, you know.
Keep them together. I wasn't aware that the NATO alliance was on the verge of collapse. He's saying that he's trying to keep them together. Just all kinds of terrible news coming out of this interview from 60 Minutes.
That whole expression, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. I mean, I respect the fact that people would say, you know, you're old, but I think it relates to how much energy you have, and
oh my goodness,
the job you're doing is one consistent with what any person of any age would be able to do.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I have trouble even saying to myself my own head the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before, whether it's physical or mental or anything else.
Okay, so he's not even aware that he's out of it, that he has physical limitations. And 60 Minutes, they didn't go all the way, okay? I mean, they exposed him. Somebody else is running the military. Someone else is running foreign policy, not him. He thinks he's fit. Mentally and physically, he's not. You know, when someone goes into the doctor for an Alzheimer's test, there's two questions they ask them. And it's in all the Alzheimer's tests. I know because my grandparents have had these tests. How old are you? That's one question they ask, and they always get that wrong, right? 60 Minutes didn't ask Biden that. And you know what the other question they ask is, who's the president? And typically, people will say that have Alzheimer's, the president that was in office before is almost asked. But they didn't ask, but still, he is delusional, Steve. I mean, he is gone. And he's so far gone, he's not even aware he has any limitations or changes.
We only have 3
of the country.
Right.
Well, I don't know the world. I don't know about America. The rest of the world maybe, but I don't know about. I mean, in that interview, what did we learn? Taiwan can be taken by the Chinese, and there'll be no U.S. response whatsoever. Right? Right. I mean, that's what came out. And of course, they asked him about inflation. Let me pull this one up. Hold on. This is the inflation. Listen to this.
Mr. President, as you know, last Tuesday, the annual inflation rate came in at 8.3%. The stock market nosedived. People are shocked by their grocery bills. What can you do better and faster.
Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective. Inflation rate month to month was just an inch. Hardly at all.
You're not arguing that 8.3 is good news.
No, I'm not saying it is good news, but it was 8.2 or 8.2 before. I mean, it's not, maybe I can make it sound like all of a sudden, my God, it went to 8.2%. It's
the highest inflation rate, Mr. President, in 40 years.
I got that. But guess what we are? We're in a position where for the last several months it hasn't spiked. It is just barely, it's been basically even.
Okay. Now, whether it's 8.32 or just 8%, statistically that's the same number, okay? And it's an average. So if inflation is 8%, that means some items have increased by 15%, maybe even higher, because it's an average, right? I mean, my goodness, he is out of touch with everything. And 60 Minutes, I'm going to give them some credit. I have never seen 60 Minutes make a Democrat president look bad before. I've never seen it.
It's gonna look bad.
I mean, when but they're there.
To their credit, they were confrontive to a certain degree. Respect. A good job.
They did do a good job. I've never seen them do that to a Democrat president ever. When a Democrat is in trouble, they go on 60 Minutes.
Hit the nail on the head. The word has gone out that it's acceptable now to contribute to Biden's.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so that's what I was talking about in the 6 o'clock hour with this. See, what 60 Minutes did, that was them telling the rest of the media it's okay. It's now time to tell the truth about Biden. Don't be afraid. They want him out. They do not want him to run. And that's exactly what it is that they're doing. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, exactly. So he's in a bad situation right now. But
Steve Kane Show.
Yep.
William? Yeah, we had a little problem. Stand by, please.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Now, I want to tell everyone before we break, we're going to talk to William Youngerman with the first gold report of the week in just a moment. But Mike Lindell, who was raided by the FBI last week and had his phone seized, has hired Alan Dershowitz, and Alan Dershowitz is putting together a dream team for Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell announced at the Ohio rally something. This is Mike Lindell at the Ohio rally over the weekend.
My lawyers and I got together the last couple days, and on Tuesday, we're suing the United States government and the FBI.
Yeah, so they're suing the FBI. They're filing suit tomorrow. And listen, Mike Lindell, he needs your help. Go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Save up to 66% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Or you can order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Save up to 66% with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. All right, we're going to check in with William Youngerman. We'll be right back. Save up to 66% with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. All right, we're going to check in with William Youngerman. We'll be right back.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Oldies 95.3 and...
Yes. And every morning at this time, we check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca Raton with the Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, first report of the week. How are the metals looking?
Metals are stable, but a little lower this morning. Friday, we saw gold close up $10.60, bouncing off some of the lows that we saw last week of around $1,960. Support seems to be coming in that $1,650 to $1,660 gold. A lot of physical buying going on, so we'll see how that holds. Stock market, again, poised to go lower again today, which is, again, putting pressure on everything with a very strong U.S. dollar and oil down to $82 a barrel. So all things being considered, gold is outperforming practically every other asset class. Gold closed Friday at $1,675.90. That was up $10.60. Silver closed up 43 cents on Friday at $19.59 the ounce, while platinum was up $1 at $906, and palladium was down $4 at $2,067. This morning we see gold trading at $1,967, down $8.90. Silver down 19 cents at $19.40. Platinum up $1 at $907. And palladium down $17 at $2,050. So gold still hanging around that $1,960. Great. I'm sorry, $1,600. What did I say? I said $1,667. It should be not $1,967.
Well, it will be again that at some point. We know that it's gold. Now, the price of gold right now. I mean, this is the best time to buy gold in quite some time, right? If people call or stop in, is there any particular type of coin or gold that you would recommend people pick up today?
Not really. I mean, gold is gold. It just stick with the most popular brands, which we sell all of them, whether it's the Eagles or the Buffaloes or the Canadian Maple Leaf. Our favorite is the Australia Kangaroo 1 ounce first mint pure gold coin, beautifully encapsulated, and one of the lowest premium gold coins you can get from all over the world. We also have the limited supply for those interested of the last Queen Elizabeth gold coin made in Britain, 2022, if you want to pick up one of those. And we, of course, have all of the products in stock for immediate delivery.
Oh, you have Britannias?
Yeah, Britannias will be in actually
Now, let me tell you... That's right. These are the last of the Britannias with Queen Elizabeth on them, and it's the last year of her reign. So they're going to be in Wednesday. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m., so you might want to call and get one of those for yourself. They're going to go quick, especially the 2022s. They're going to be hot. Listen, William Youngerman opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. His number toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or stop right in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here, and there's one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Yes.
I'm giving a homework assignment. Since we were not able to get the inside word on what happened with J.D. Vance today, if you find out in the course of the next 24 hours, give us a call on tomorrow's show and see if we can solve this mystery.
Yeah, that's absolutely that. Yeah, something happened. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Augustino.
Hey,
Hey, Steve, I want to say I'm glad you're back, and hey, Brian, don't dump me for. But anyway.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so why'd you call today?
I called today because I always get up in the morning, get in my wheelchair, get my coffee, and by the way, I wanted to ask you a question. Are you going to my coffee or my...
I'm going to, that's a good question. Yeah, you know, if you, I'm hearing great things about the Mike Lindell My Coffee. Okay, well, maybe I'll have to do that then. All right, appreciate the call, Augustino. That sounds like a private call. I should give you my phone number for those types of questions. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Luciano, turn off whatever device you're listening to us on in the background. Turn down the volume.
Okay, turn off the device, turn the volume. I'm doing it right.
Okay, yeah, because of the delay, it's hard to hear. All right, what's on your mind? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, brother, I'm calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm a Republican, and I'm known as Mr. Needles and crack pipes at Democratic parties.
Oh.
neighborhood. They passed out 6.4 million syringes. I'm also in a docuseries that was put together called Connected with the XCO Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I get no support down here. Of course, I'm in a Democratic city, but I'm constantly risking my life, saving lives. I even have to have a bulletproof book bag. That's how dangerous it is.
Picking up the drug pipes and the drug needles, yeah.
Yeah, that fortunately the Democratic Party helped pass a bill to pass that out.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to spread the word, vote Republican, save the country, let's go back with Trump.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're from our we're in Florida, so you're up there from us. You're up there. We're down here from your perspective.
Family down in Florida, so all over, and it's crazy how they're just killing this country. All Democratic leaders you see are passing out crack pipes and syringes. It's only killing the children.
Why do you think Democrats? You're in Philadelphia. Why do you think Democrats hand out crack pipes and needles to shoot heroin up with? Why do Democrats like doing that so much?
Conquer, and when the nation is weak, they have their agenda they can push. When everybody's a zombie, it's all part of it. They even actually, let me give an example. They even had the police officers. I work with a lot of police officers out there because they love my brand, and it's not there. Where they took out their vests from being with an actual metal shield, where it could protect from anything from 45 caliber on up. They took it off and only have them for a soft shield, which is 9mm. I'm gonna go out there, and if it's a shooting. So this is all part of a systematical order that they're trying to actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's Democrats. That's Democrats for you. All right. Well, be careful picking up those drug needles. That's a dangerous business. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
So last night I was driving home from work, which is down the street from Mar-a-Lago, and I saw police. I said, "Oh, Trump must be back in town." So I rounded Southern Boulevard, and there was quite a big crowd for.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that was mentioned, but yeah. So it was good to see, beeping my horn.
Yeah, no, President Trump posted on True Social thanking all the people that turned out. Yeah, President Trump is back home at Mar-a-Lago post break-in. And he says they ransacked his home. It doesn't look anything like the way he left it.
Wow. Well, I wanted to say that was about 8:30 last night, and they were still out there.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Trump rally, and I know you talked about Trump when talking about the people aren't going to stand for it. I felt the same way with as Steve did. I sort of winced when he said that because the government that is what they're waiting for. They're waiting for people to fight back. I mean, of course, we'd never get to the point of
Well, there's a different, okay. There's a difference in this thing with Trump, who did not call for violence or anything. There's a difference in hearing him say it and then reading it in print. And when it's in print, it's been made to sound as if he was calling for violence. I played the audio. I don't hear him calling for violence. I hear Hugh Hewitt try to bait him into doing that, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think when he said it does, they're not going to stand for it. I mean, that can mean a lot of things. But, of course he's not
Well, that's what these Trump haters, that's where their mind is. Okay? That's where their mind, that's their projection of their own thoughts and feelings towards President Trump. He didn't say, I'll play the clip again. It's 20 seconds. Listen.
And I think you have problems in this country, the likes of which perhaps we've never seen before. I don't think the people of the United States would stand for it.
What kind of problems, Mr. President?
I think they'd have big problems. Big problems. I just don't think they'd stand for it. They will not sit still and stand for this ultimate of hoaxes.
Okay, and he was replying to Hugh Hewitt asking, what would the reaction be if they come down with an indictment? I don't hear him calling for violence.
No, I'm not saying he would, but some people.
Yeah, Trump haters. Yeah, the Trump derangement sufferers. Sure.
Yeah.
See, what makes them mad? What really? Here you have President Trump. That rally in Ohio, tens of thousands showed up, knowing that they're not even going to get in. It was a packed house, packed outside, and it just makes them sick. It scares them. They don't understand everything they've done, and he's still more popular than ever.
He sure is. I love watching him.
All right, Joellen, take care. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Connie from Lake Forest.
Hey.
Hi, you were talking about 60 Minutes and Biden and, you know, how nervous you are that who's in charge of the military and this, that, and the other. I saw that devolution.
I don't talk about what? No.
Is there a reason why?
I don't even know what it is.
I guess it's the military.
General Millie Vanilli? No. Well, he's the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Austin, the defense secretary, he's another rocket scientist. Kash Patel is not in charge of the military, I'm sorry to tell you.
No, devolution.
Okay, I'm lost. So who's in control of the military?
Many of these TV judges.
Well, who? It's supposed to be the President of the United States, so who's in charge?
That's what devolution's all about. I can't explain it.
Okay, all right, well, okay. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Charmaine from West Virginia.
Hey, Charmaine.
Hey, Charmaine.
Hello, Steve. Hello, Brian. I just wanted to call and say I took your advice, Brian, and I went to the rally Saturday.
Oh.
It was awesome. I am hooked.
Was that your first Trump rally?
Yes, yes.
You know, we're in the MAGA movement. We're like Muslims that have to, they have to go to, to Saudi Arabia like once in their life. Every MAGA person has to go to a rally.
I recommend it. I'm going to everyone from now on that I can afford to go.
Really? That's amazing. So what your first rally, so what was so exciting about it to you that you're now hooked on rallies?
Well, it started out with standing there and listening to Mike Lindell.
Oh, yeah. He's great.
And then I was filming a little bit of it and sharing it to my Facebook, and I had friends saying there's hardly no one there. I said,
please.
Lucky if we can get in line. So I filmed it and shared it when I was in, and there was no seats.
See, here's what they do, okay? I saw the Daily Mail, they showed empty seats. This is what happens. When you go to a Trump rally, it's an all-day event. And there's a bunch of speakers, and you get an idea of when Trump's going to come out. So everyone goes and pees. And then what the media do is when everyone's in line in the men's room and the ladies' room, because you gotta pee before Trump comes out. You don't want to have to get up when he's talking. They take a picture of the empty seats. And then they put that on. Look, nobody's there. No, they're in the men's room. They're in the ladies' room. They're in line. That's what they do. Exactly. It was a full house.
And it was awesome, and I just could feel the passion in Trump's voice that I feel it when I'm listening to the rally at the end. But
well, we're almost out of time. But one thing I've noticed, Trump's voice is deeper in person. Isn't it, than it is on television? Yeah. I guess that maybe they do something to make his voice higher on TV to take away from his commanding presence. Hey, listen, we're out of time, but thanks for calling. I'm glad you had a great day. She's hooked on rallies now. All right. Well, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You're listening to the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And, of course, God bless America. And now that he's back at Mar-a-Lago, of course, God bless Donald Trump. Radio since 1977. And, of course, God bless America. And now that he's back at Mar-a-Lago, of course, God bless Donald Trump.
South Florida's good time.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, okay? And, I live stream when I'm on the radio every morning from 6 until 9 a.m. Eastern. And if you're new here, my name is Brian Craig. I co-host this radio show. Vladik, $5 Super Chat. Thank you. Trump interview with John Voight. Check it out. I watched that actually this morning, the John Voight interview with Trump from Newsmax before I came to the radio station. It was very good. We broadcast live at Morning Drive on 6 radio stations here in Florida. 5 of them are FMs and 1 AM station. And the calls you hear are a mix of our radio listeners, people watching on YouTube as well. And I upload a lot of other content here, including my podcast and a lot of vlogging that I do. I put up here on my channel as well. So make sure you subscribe and everyone like the video, okay? I got to run. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.